Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. It is really an exciting matchup coming for us next. It is, of course, White Rabbit Gaming versus XTC in the winner bracket final. We've seen these two clash before, and it's generally been a bit of a one-sided affair, admittedly, but I gotta feel the more XTC go at it, the more competitive it's going to be. And who knows, maybe you're about to see that next game where we see a Titan fall. But, like any good drama, you first need a little bit of an advert break. And this time I think it will be great if we could chat to somebody that we've become used to in the last couple of days, or last 2 days, I guess, who actually won't be casting this one. But we did catch up with Demonic before the event, and I'd love to hear what he had to say about it.
What's my opinion of the current SA Dota 2 pro scene? I would say that we are on the way towards something big, I feel. I feel like 2016 and 2017 for the first time, we're starting to see new players and new blood arrive in the Dota 2 scene, which I think has been quite stagnant for a long time. And I think that's making a big difference to bring new life into the competitive scene. And I think this year is going to be the biggest year yet, and we're definitely moving forward as a community. If I had a choice to remove a hero from the hero pool and never see it again, wow, that's a close one. It's a close one between Ricky and Techies, I would say. My top 4 placings for the Winter Cup, I would say the team to beat is WRG at the moment. I would actually say my underdog team that might make the top 4 could be Energy Esports. XTC, obviously a really good team. I predict they will probably go to the podium as well. And Bravado Gaming, obviously, that's a big one of the big, and the first big tournaments that they're going to be playing as not as XD anymore. So I think those would probably be my top 4. I would say, I'm not going to pick an order, but I think those who we're going to see. I am Richard Demonic Schoberg. I am originally from Port Elizabeth, but I now live in Cape Town. I've been living here for about 10 years. I am a esports freelancer would be the best way to say it, but for the Mega8 event here, I will be doing some Dota 2 analysis, hopefully.
I gotta say, it was quite nice seeing, one of us up there. Hey, you don't count, actually. You're not one of us. Not yet. You've still got a couple of years of playing left in you. But it was actually quite nice to see what Demonic was, or how he felt about the tournament. And I gotta say, as an analyst, he got it pretty much spot on, kind of, with the top 4 predictions.
Why is Energy an underdog? Like they've placed themselves top 4 in like every tournament, every top 3 even.
Well, I think it's more so that they're the underdog when going up against the likes of XC and WOG.
It depends when that was also done.
I'm just saying, they're not underdogs.
You're a guest here. You're a guest here.
Give them respect.
You do not fight with our analysts.
I'm sorry.
I think it also does depend when that was done. I think that might have been done about 2-3 weeks ago, so we hadn't actually seen Energy on LAN yet.
That actually was.
And that's the thing. It's like you never really know what energy does pitch up on the day. So
I know it was done before the most recent patch, so it was about 2-3 weeks ago.
2-3 weeks.
They were doing better. Like
before
further back,
yeah.
they were doing even better. They came like second, I think.
Yeah.
All
right.
This guy's not what he's talking about.
Definitely.
Energy's the best.
He's just like really hype on Chosen One.
I just want to point out here that Donnie just predicted that Energy would win the Mega8 Winter Cup.
Yep, right there.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Doesn't even deny it.
Good. I think I'm going to make this the most important one. So this I haven't exactly been keeping score, but let's just pretend I have, and go with. This prediction is worth like 1 million points, and every other one was worth 1.
Yes.
Gentlemen, do you want to make a prediction on who's gonna win?
I'd rather not on this game for that many points, because like, come on, WRG
It's about him being wrong, guys. Come on.
But he is going to be wrong.
He wins.
If he is right, then I mean it'll be worth it, right?
Why don't you just make a bet with Donnie, and that if he wins, he can walk away officially being the most right analyst that there's ever been.
I'm okay with this.
But what if he's wrong?
Well, then he's just like the rest of us 2K scrubs that doesn't know what we're talking about.
Energy are like, thanks, bro, for believing in us. I'm a winner either way.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll think this through. I'll get back to you guys on this one. Right, but okay. I mean, once again, we've had a little bit of fun here, but it is, in fact, a serious part of this tournament, of course. WRG pretty much just cruising lately. They've been giving everyone a bit of a hiding, but in fact, they've only dropped one game they can think of recently. That was to Energy. XCC and WG met last weekend in a final. pretty much one-sided affair. XC even fell apart particularly badly in the final game. Can they pick themselves up here? Do you think that they can upset this and take down the big boys?
I'm not sure if take them down, but I think they definitely will have a better showing. I feel like in the last week when we saw them play, it felt like WRG was purely their kryptonite. Like, not even how they drafted. They just played like they were playing against a different team. They sort of fell apart from the moment they started hitting the buttons. So I think if they just go into this with a different mentality, be like, okay, so it is WRG, fine. But I've spoken to Jadar before, and he was saying one of the ways that they dealt with the monkey that was BVD for such a long time was just realizing that it doesn't really matter which team you're playing against. You need to play your Dota. Obviously, your opponent's going to be in the game, but you can't base your entire draft, or your entire playstyle, your entire identity within the game around your enemy. You just have to craft your own identity, play your style of Dota. And when XCC does that, it works, and they win. When they don't, then they lose. And the only time it doesn't work is against WRG. They're the one team that seems to force XCC to tilt from minute one. So if they can avoid doing that, I think they're in a really good position. If not to win, but to definitely make it much closer than we've seen WRG in any of these series today.
Yeah. Let's not go there. How do they win this? Like, what has to happen? And no one's allowed. No, especially not. I know exactly.
Let me say it.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, are we going to be composed about
Okay,
it?
Depi needs to show up, right? If he shows up and does what I think he's capable of, then I think they're going to have control. And Adesam needs to play better than he's played what I've seen of him. He needs to just... Depi needs to play to his true potential, and Adesam just needs to be enabled. You know, he has to play just better. Like, he's not been playing as well as I think he should be, and I think he is capable of playing that at the level I think he needs to for this win. But Depi obviously needs to show up. He's the big key factor here. And then Adesam just needs to not pick Wraith King.
It was just going so good until the end there.
As long as Depi's drafting, right? Depi took off to the draft after that, yeah.
Following on from what Donnie said, like I think right now, because Adam isn't playing as well as we know he's capable of, it almost feels like Depi's trying to do too much. And by doing too much, he like actually limits what he's able to do. Like you can see he's like he's trying to always win the lane when it's like, dude, call your supports to help you rather than try to take on Castaway, because at the moment Santo is making Castaway's life like it's like heaven on earth for Castaway. It's like, all right, I'm struggling. Santo comes in, sets up a gang. Thanks very much, boys, and we can now continue. And that's the thing, is that like, because they know that Adam's maybe going through a bit of a rough patch, the whole team feels under pressure. Especially last week, they started playing these like very, very late game scaling drafts when White Rabbit's like, sure, guys, we're just going to, start running at you, get like up in your face, which is what they had to learn to do against the BVD guys, because that's what BVD would do to them. They had to like force the tempo. XCC wasn't able to live with it last week. Maybe they can do it this week, but this is where they have to start showing that are they the guys that are actually going to bring down White Rabbit Gaming, or are they just going to be another also round for the current Kings of South Africa?
I think the best way probably for them to try and win out this game is focus on the mid lane a little bit more than the safe lane, because generally what we've seen, especially when they go up against WRG, against other teams they'll sometimes run Adesam by himself in the safe lane, or they'll have like these weird aggressive dual lanes, but against WRG we've only seen tri lanes every single game, and every time they keep losing. And they keep losing because not to necessarily lose the tri lane, but the tri lane will draw even with the WRG dual lane, and then mid will just get absolutely destroyed. So maybe if you split up your focus, have one of your supports mid, have someone basically do the Santo role, allow Depi that space to flourish in the mid lane, and then Adesam, I mean, sure, you can have your dual lanes, but just have confidence in your carry. Like he might not necessarily be in the best place right now, but I think part of the problem is that you can overhype yourself. You can put too much pressure on yourself to perform. It's just like, make the game easy and say, dude, relax. You don't have to be the carry. If the laning phase goes rough for you, it's fine. The person we're really focusing on is Depi right now, and he's the guy that has been playing the best, I think, from XCC.
He's been the best. But like following on from that, it's like Dota and Die has to be the one to help Depi.
Dota and Die versus Santo. That has to be like, who can create the most space for their mids, right? I think Dota and Die has the capabilities of it, and like I want to see him do that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because I think we were chatting a lot about Depi and Adam, and I guess we needed to look at who was the guy who could put his hand up and be the difference for XC, and I'm glad you guys answered that. But do you think Dota and I can do it? I mean, Santo is kind of, I think it's been said in the past that the 5 best players in South Africa, and I don't know if Dottie's going to disagree with this, but the 5 best players in South Africa are the 5 players in WRG.
Get out of town.
I also wouldn't agree with that. No. But with regards to whether Dota Die can do it, like yesterday, Dota and Die's Jakiro was like even Santo couldn't have pulled that off. That Jakiro was honestly amazing. Like won the game, but basically by himself. Like won both mid, won a little bit of the safe lane, and allowed them to win the game off of that. So I think if he brings that kind of performance and the support capacity, then they definitely are in a really good position against WRG. with that kind of pressure.
It's always dangerous to say things like, "Oh, the number one team in the country has the 5 best players." They rarely do. They have 1 or 2 of the best players in the country, but the thing is, those 2 players like help the whole team. Like Santo at the moment makes the whole of White Rabbit Gaming look 100 times better than, you know, it might be that Chidao is having a little bit of a weaker game. Santo comes in, helps his play look a lot better than it is. Like at the moment, Castaway I think has been a little bit of a downer since the end of last year, and yeah. Well, I mean, we're going to see now. Do they get something that Santo can make a play with? But it's basically, I think it's going to be Santo versus Dodo and Die.
A crack in the armor of WRG, what we've seen this weekend, is Whelp. He hasn't, like, I rate him super highly. So when I watched him play this weekend, you know, like he's not like playing as I would expect him to play, right? He's been playing a bit weirdly, a bit like a lower skill than I would expect of him. Because like I view him as higher than anyone, you know. So I want to see that from him. And if maybe if he plays like how he's been playing, maybe XC will. That's their chance.
Well, let's. I mean, I was going to say let's get into the draft, but I couldn't stop you guys from talking. So we're well into the draft here, but the players are taking a little while to get going here. And a surprise! Tree and
Isn't that every
Protector's
game?
banned off.
Actually-
This has a 100% ban rate in this tournament, and I don't even need Sargon to pull that one off.
It's like death, taxes, and tree banned in first phase.
Well, what can you do? It's like really, it kind of has to happen. XCC now. Okay, so the thing is, I want to see if every other team has been banning either a Baron or Lich up against WRG, to not wanting to deal with that oppressive dual lane. Do you think XCC will care too much?
I think XC, like all I see the common bans are what, like Tree, Coddle, what else, Warlock, that's very common. So I think those
And
three,
then
and then like the
Clock
fourth
is the
one
other
is
one.
like, what are you more scared of? And like Bravado is more scared of Lich.
Yeah.
Maybe XT is more scared of Clockwork, you know what I mean? So we'll definitely, it's like, it depends what they think, what they value more.
You know which hero I actually really like seeing Addison play, although he very rarely plays it. I like how he plays the Razor, and I think the style of tempo that or the way he's evolved as a player and what XCC needs him to be is probably better suited for the Razor.
Yeah.
Because I kind of feel like XCC, their like Depi seems more like the carry than Addison was. So it feels
Yeah.
like
Deppy's the playmaker.
He's
You
the
need
Sumail.
Adam
he's
to
a
just-
Sumail.
And
Like,
then Arteezy is like Aristan.
no, I think like yeah, so like last patch are easy.
The play style, I mean.
Yeah, definitely a play style.
Yeah, I think they like I do agree. I think the Razor's probably the kind of like the type of hero you want to go on Addiston, like something that like gets beefy, difficult to kill, not necessarily like the primary carry, just something that like makes Deppy's life a lot easier as being a frontliner.
And it looks like they are scared of a Baron. First ban from XCC.
I think that's the fourth week I was thinking about. So they're more scared of like a Baron than Lich, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah, I think that's good. I think that's actually probally better than just banning
Banning
Lich.
Lich,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
I
like
think
you can
Baron's
pair
better.
Baden with other
Yeah.
things as well. So
Yeah.
I think what's going to be interesting about it, how this progresses, well, is that it's kind of hard to say what WG are actually going to pick. I just think that they've picked
Legion
quite
Commander.
they've picked quite a few heroes that we haven't seen from other teams. I mean, we saw like Kunkka that has been picked up in
That's
this
Tusk,
particular
yeah.
tournament, but the Kunkka was picked up by them sort of quite a while before anyone else was picking it up, I'd say. And also the Luna they've picked up, and I think they were.
this
Bane?
tournament,
No, not
White
this
Rabbit.
tournament. No, I'm talking about this.
Oh,
this
okay.
patch. But
I was
they're
gonna say
picking-
like I don't remember Luna.
No, but the thing is that they've been picking up some heroes that we don't see a lot of other teams pick up.
Yeah.
And that's going to make it really hard to draft against, right?
Warlock. See, like what I'm actually noticing about XC's draft is they're banning heroes that give them hard times in dual lanes,
Yeah.
right? So they banned Legion Commander, which Tadawi plays with the dual lane, and they banned Abaddon, hard time with the dual lane. So now they're actually trying to make Adestam's life easier.
Yeah.
They're trying
Yeah.
to, but they let through Warlock. So I think they view making Adestam's life easier by nerfing Tadawi a bit. So there's less like common dual lanes that they can do, and now they had to let through Warlock for that. I mean, so
Well, Chidaw's actually been getting the majority of the farm on WRG
Yeah.
this whole weekend, even though he's been playing in the offlane. So they've been
The problem is
prioritizing him a
like
lot.
he hasn't been as effective with that kind of farm as
Yeah.
one would hope. With I mean he's been getting dooms, which like he's gonna farm a lot, but he's not gonna do a hell of a lot.
Yeah,
So
Dooms, Bristlebacks, not the type of
Bristleback
heroes
was
you
pretty
expect.
crazy. Like,
That was pretty crazy. It
It
was
was-
basically unkillable.
Yeah, it was nuts. Clockwork, SF, yeah. Okay.
Yay!
That's just common. I mean, like it's like if I see the Clockwork in SF,
You
I'm like,
know,
okay,
yeah.
I mean, and it's a Deppy hero, right?
Yeah.
He likes that hero. So that'd be cool. I wonder if it's gonna be a support Clockwork or offlane Clockwork.
Dodo and Die does play the clock,
Yes.
but I don't think that's gonna be a good game for him on the clock.
Just
Like,
gonna
you
play
want
it,
him to
just-
get something more active than a Clockwork.
Scarlet does play it, but I haven't
he-
seen him play it like really well in a while. I think like he's sort of prioritizing other heroes like in the offlane. Like he
Ricky.
seems better not on Clockwork these days. Ricky, this is a good pick.
Santo
So,
hero.
Yeah. Any hero, if you see a hero that's gonna make your life annoying, then you know it's definitely Santos
Yeah.
playing it, rubbing his palms together. So
Yeah, I just remember last year it was like, who gets the Ricky, who gets the bounty
Bounty
hunter? It's like Santo and
every
Odu.
game. I hated that meta. It was awful.
So what are they gonna get rid of here? They're gonna. Do you think they're going to ban more Chidawa heroes? They're going to ban Bristleback here.
Yeah, you ban like one more Chidawa hero.
Axe
Yeah.
maybe. I think you might want to get rid of his axe. Is about the only other thing that you'd really
Axe,
want.
Cloud, I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Axe and Cloud, sorry.
Quap. Actually, I prefer what they're doing now because as we're speaking about making Depi's life as easy as possible is probably
Yeah.
going to be the key for victory for them. I think the first 2 bans is probably enough to take care of the
Yeah.
oppressive dual lanes in the off lane. So now you have to focus on the mid lane. Because then you get into a situation where you ban 4 Chidawi heroes, but then every castaway hero is available in the pool. He can pick anything. Like, the game is entirely free for him.
Yeah, or you get Whelp, something that he's also like beast on.
Now, Cop is actually quite good against SF when you have a Ricky, right? So, like, SF can be on his hill, deep away, running away. Cop can blink forward. Usually, SF would turn and hit him, but he can't because he's going to get clouded and hit.
Yeah.
So, it's like, it actually makes his life very difficult.
I
so to
wonder
be
though,
banned
does XCC ban out the Evoker here?
Um,
Because that's like the castaway.
I feel like that's his, like, his Invoke is, like, better than any other
Yeah.
hero. Like, it's
Yeah.
almost scary, like, how much further ahead it is, like, in my opinion. I think, like, that is definitely, by far, he's the best Invoker.
It's going to pretty. I mean, we won't see it here because he's up against. Well, I say this right. I want to say we won't see him pick up the Ember Spirit because he's up against the Shadow Fiend. But that's exactly what happened last weekend
yeah.
against
Now they ban
Depi
Ember.
as
Yeah.
well. And
Did
so
he have Clockwork last time on Depi's side? Because now this makes it way
I
harder.
don't recall,
I
but
don't think so.
Yeah, I think this makes it
But
way
they did
harder.
put. They did still went go for the. I mean, they didn't really care, right? That I guess was the point. But
I think you care now.
Yeah,
I think you care if he has like,
this is
80,
basically
90 damage, eh? Like that's
fair
like
the
enough,
road
fair
is
enough.
basically just paved for a Evoker pick here.
if
Yeah.
it's Invoker, like we'll see some cool things. I think like every time he plays Invoker, he does some cool stuff.
It is his best hero.
Yeah.
Like, it's... And when you see it, you understand why they keep picking it for him. Even in games where it seems like somewhat unfavorable. Like this game, XTC can potentially go for this back for the Spirit Breaker or something that can actually kill Invoker mid and then make his life a little bit more difficult. But I don't think it'll deter WRG too much from picking that hero.
I remember it was even in
okay.
when White Rabbit went to Dubai. I think it was one of the games that Castaway, like he got his Voker, and everyone was like, even the international viewers were like, "Wow,
Yeah, and they were like,
that guy's got a Voker."
I'm
to
sorry,
speak
I
about.
just have to go there because if we're going to talk about the competition, and Donnie, I hate doing this because it was actually about you. Was a Timbersaw pickup that you had.
Oh shit!
I remember the commentator saying that you were playing against a team who had like a really strong Timbersaw player. And they're like, oh well, we guess it's a block pick, but can you pick up this hero? For
They
somebody who-
didn't even know.
and then you
what was
just
coming.
absolutely ate them. So it was a good feel-good slap
Yeah, it was
moment.
definitely.
But let's get back into this one.
Chris, do you guys like Crystal Maiden here? I think they do need some level of stun and something that can at least give mana towards the SF in the mid lane. And also it's nice
Clockwork.
with Clockwork. Yeah,
Yes.
like you can spam out the rockets, get you a little bit of farm.
You can do a lot of like usually he's like he needs mana pots and stuff in lane, but like
Yeah.
Clockwork, like you don't expect he'll have now like not just one battery assault and cogs. He has like multiple in the
Yeah.
video. He can just like wait for his mana to regen up. Dazzle up here. That's
That's
right.
what I like actually
Yeah.
as well.
So like it goes with the cogs. Like if you trap someone or like you can keep SF alive if they want to choose that. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think the idea with Dazzle is probably what you just mentioned about keeping him alive. They know for a fact that Santo's going to try and come mid and kill SF as much as possible. So,
So
you
long
have
as Doom
Dazzle.
Bunny has a TP scroll like he
Yeah.
didn't yesterday, that was
I think this game you might as well just camp mid. Like
yeah.
if he goes in the offlane with Clockwork, like whatever, Clockwork that's probably not going to need his help. So you just camp mid behind the SF, stack for him a bit. You'll stay level 1 for the first 3 minutes, but it's fine. You have Shallow Grave in case he gets ganked. So
Yeah.
I think that's worth it overall.
Dazzle's probably not the best dual lane hero, I would say.
Yeah.
So like he'll probably be the safe lane support. Like don't quote me on this, but like yeah, I actually think the Dazzle. Yesterday when we spoke about, I remember I said that Dazzle's armor helps against Axe. The spins are actually pure.
It is
So
pure
that
damage,
was a
yeah.
Donnie moment. I got corrected by my co-panelist here. You know, feels bad right there. I was like, I actually played the hero a lot. I was like, how have I not like seen this?
I mean, you know, and here I was trusting. I was like,
yeah, you actually praised me for it, I think, as well. Eh? You were like, yo, it's so smart. And
I
was like,
don't think I praised you for that.
You said it was
I-
really smart. Come on.
No, we have replay. I'm pretty sure I would not have done that.
Get the
but,
replay.
But you know what's been terrible is it's probably like something in production right now. Like, but then I mean, is this not the case in that you in fact do go for that axe, and this is not a good pickup here?
I mean,
I think you'd want a little bit more information from what XTC is running before you pick up the axe. Yeah.
But then the thing is, if you don't pick up Axe, you have to pick up your carry because I don't think they want to go in for the mid matchup just yet. So
Or the offlaner.
I don't think actually that bad. It's not that bad.
Like it's not. Yeah.
The only thing like the okay against it is Dazzle, which is okay. Nix.
Nix.
Is that for Jadawi?
Yeah,
it's
right?
Jadawi.
I haven't actually seen him run that.
I mean, maybe
I've seen
he's
him
got
run
it
it
in his
once.
pockets. Like maybe, like I
Might
maybe
very
it's a
well
hero.
be.
He's
Can
plays
not.
well.
I mean, it can't really be a 4 position here.
No.
It's pretty good
no,
against Dazzle and
the
stuff,
Ricky
eh?
would
Like,
be-
like you go
yeah.
look for him in fights and you kill him. Right,
Yeah,
to try
like
and go
there's
around.
no way Ricky or Warlock
Yeah, yeah.
is anything other than a support at this stage.
I've seen like Dazzles be very sad. You get Mano burn in the middle of the fight. Can't cast Grave. Feels bad. It's really
That is
awful.
definitely feels bad. That's
I
going to be
really
a lot of
want the
it's
mid Warlock back, guys. Can we just say
not
that?
going to happen.
It's one of those things.
Like,
in
it's
life
not-
that-
Stop me.
Not unless you're like a Korean team that has like the pocket Warlock that wins games for you.
Oh, it's going to be scary, eh?
That
Like,
is a lot of anti-armor.
with
I'm
Ricky
actually
Nix
surprised we
running
didn't
around.
really
Yeah.
pick up on that early on. But
That's-
that is a lot of anti-armor, friends.
yeah.
That actually is a lot of anti-armor. They can take Roche as well.
Are they going to pick Nakes?
It's-
Does the reduction armor go through magic? Like magic protection, like BKB and Rage and stuff? Do you guys know?
don't think
It
so.
would depend on the spell, I
Because
guess.
Sigil doesn't go through it, and
I
that's a
don't think it
negative
does.
buff. So I don't think, yeah.
I'm fairly certain it doesn't, but I could be corrected. But I'm like,
So I'm thinking maybe,
80%
what about
sure
Nakes
it's
here?
They
For
could-
White Rabbit?
they could go, but the thing is, there's still clockwork here.
Yeah, there you go.
Invoker, like clockwork, you still have clockwork Venge, right? There's still ways to isolate this hero in the middle of the team fight, like without necessarily having to him be non-magic immune.
It's
Like,
true.
it won't really matter too much. Also, I think like I don't really like seeing the Lifestealer versus Dazzle. Like it's kind of hard in the middle of a team fight as the weave stacks start changing up, and then after Rage ends, the hero
But
just feels super
Isn't
squishy.
it think like you're thinking like maybe they wouldn't, it's not good because of the fights, it's good because of pickoffs, right? Like
Yeah,
as we
yeah,
saw
yeah.
like Energy did it. They were running around with Ricky and the next in him, and then he just clouds and he open wounds and then anyone does.
If they do that, then it's actually fantastic. Then
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, you
That's the only
can't-
reason I would, yeah, I think it's quite good, yeah, if that's how they want to run it.
Although I think XCC is prepared to spend that gold on sentries and dust, bro.
You know, we say this, right? And I feel it's been like a trend in this tournament that people have been using a lot of money on sentry wards.
yeah.
It's good. You need to. If you're against Invisor, like I hate supports that don't, like if you pass 5, you spend all your gold on supports.
This is like
Yeah.
I'm not
3K
on
MR
sentries.
analysis. Like,
No,
we should
like
buy
you think,
sentry wards.
You think it is, but like they
so
only
many
buy
people
like
don't.
5, you know, but you're supposed to buy like 100, and you put
Yeah.
them in key spots so you can like not get killed in your own jungle, for example.
If you're playing 5 position up against an Invis hero and you have items, then you're not playing it properly. Like you should never have items, just sentries. Like,
Support's
the
gonna be
whole
like,
map.
I'm building this item, then I'll buy sentries. No, dude.
No, you just buy
only
sentries the whole
only
game.
sentries. That's your job.
Uh,
If they're
Prof, I
dead,
feel like
maybe you
should-
can get away with it.
Okay, right. There we go. I was seeing if there's somebody who's going to give something that's a little more controversial. Yeah, so let's just go over the bans quickly. We're a little bit quiet. So, Gyrocopter, Ember Spirit, Queen of Pain, Legion Commander, and Abaddon banned up by XTC. And on the other side of the river, we have Treant Protector, Keeper of the Light, Ursa, and Sven.
One thing that
as well
XTC
as Axe,
could run
which
here is
kind
this
of-
Venge carry. It is the one, like I mean, like Sarah was saying earlier, is Adam is one of the few guys that's actually made it work consistently.
It's like a truck, eh? With all this negative armor and then
Yeah.
with the buff and the minus armor of
the buff, yeah.
it's crazy.
And the Venge
Get
would be
that
like a
support weaver,
fantastic
man.
save as like a.
I find it interesting how XCC banned Gyro because WRG is
Again.
one of the few teams that successfully ran it, but Morphling. So this is the second time they're going to see Warp Morphling.
Benji is kind of good against Morphling early
Yeah.
game. Like
Yeah.
for it's like carry versus carry, I would say, if that's what they're gonna do. I wonder. Like this is weird. It's like I actually like XTC's draft. I think the bans were really good, and it's putting White Raven in like a weird spot.
Isn't Venji also kind of like a... I mean, we've seen Adam in particular go with for the Bloodthorn as well in this Venji.
Yeah.
So I mean,
also-
it's an
so-
item, yeah.
So quite nice against the Morphling as well. So this, but yeah, I mean that's also
Later,
to
very.
the very late game.
Yeah.
So they could definitely still run this, but even then, I don't know if I would want to bench sword it up against a Morphling super late.
I mean, yeah, like I think obviously you wouldn't pick this item for late game, but I mean, like
Yeah.
if you're gonna pick for 20 to 30-minute fights and Morphling isn't super fatted, I think they can just actually decimate them in fights
Yeah.
before Invoker gets highly leveled and has lots of items. Like
Yeah, like that Shadow Fiend is going to be getting huge bust from the Venge when she hits like level 15, 16, when she's got like the maxed out aura.
What do
And
you guys think
does
about Slug?
Adestam, yeah, does Adestam even play Venge?
Yeah,
he does.
no,
He's
he's
one
one
of
of the few that,
yeah, he
actually
plays it
does it.
properly.
So.
And
Oh yes! I'm so happy.
Okay.
Anti-mage. Oh, this is great.
Well,
This
that
is
is
XCC. That's XCC wins. Anti-mage
XCC
beats-
wins.
Like, have you tried playing Morphling against Anti-mage? It's like one of the most awful things in the
that's
world.
whoever
so-
gets ahead. You can just make a replicate of Anti-Mage.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, and they've got Ricky for
Like,
Anti-Mage. like, they've got a
run
lot of
around
things
like-
for Anti-Mage.
And yeah,
do you
like
feel
I,
this
I
is-
think the anti-mage is not as good of a like. It's great to see an Adestam anti-mage, but like I don't know. I think the Nyx is going to do a bit of work against him in the early stages.
It's good if he gets ahead. I agree
Yeah.
with you. If he gets
Yeah.
ahead, he's gonna destroy things. But if he doesn't,
I think XCC actually has just even the draft. I don't think they'll fall behind in the early game, so
Well,
I really like it.
On that note, I think once again I have to control you guys because there is somebody who's uncontrollable waiting on the other side of this one. Let's say hello to the casters for this game. Scarpy, who is a pleasure to work with, and the fanatical Ritz. Hello there, friend.
Well, guys, this is a throwback to TI2, TI3 days, Morphling versus Anti-Mage. Scarpy, I'm amped.
I'm more excited than I can imagine. This is a game I'm looking forward to. I think two of the stronger teams going up against each other, and yeah, I'm very keen to see how they manage to pull this draft through.
You know, for those of you who haven't heard Reddit's guy before, that was a lie when they said they're amped like that. You'll see when they're amped. And on that note, let's throw it over to you guys for certain. Enjoy, guys. Take us away.
Oh, thanks so much there, Halberd. I honestly can't wait. This is going to be one cracker of a match. Of course, we are, seeing the Shadow Fiend here towards the bottom side, just doing the sneaky stuff that the Shadow Fiend always does with a Clockwork, constantly just getting those souls up with the Clockwork. And this is a Radiant Shadow Fiend as well.
Yeah, and they got a great animation with Anti-Mage, so they actually get decent souls. They can actually get quite a decent amount. So yeah, Deppy's going to start off with a decent start. He's already got 7 souls. He's going to look to collect himself more. He actually got 4 on the first set, so he's actually going to have a decent start. Yeah, this is a really, again, a favorable lane for him right off the bat. But it is going up against the Castaway Invoker, so we're going to see how they're going to sort of deal with that.
Well, I really can't wait for this. This is, of course, a minus armor strat with an anti-mage split pushing up with Deppy Shadow Fiend. And then you have an Invoker and a Morphling. It's really going to be quite an interesting matchup to see anti-mage Shadow Fiend versus Morphling Invoker. I think that literally is the matchup right now.
Yeah, I think there's quite a lot of greed on both sides here. Like, Invoker still wants to find decent farm, and Morphling and Shadow Fiend and Anti-Mage, they too consume quite a lot of farm. So maybe something that we could keep an eye on.
Ooh, the blocks coming through here from Santo, trying to go on to Deppy right now. Deppy is going to be on half HP. They actually want to go for a quick sneaky kill on him, but they don't have enough. Looking at this, Deppy versus Castaway, it is a very good matchup. Lots of teams try to shut down Deppy, but then Adestam gets out of control. Other teams try to shut down Castaway, but then Wop gets out of control.
Yeah, and I think they did the right thing there. They tried to get a kill on Deppy. It's one of the ways that you deal with that Clockwork combination with the Shadow Fiend. You try and bring your souls down almost immediately.
Well,
but
we might actually be seeing our first blood here. Holding that thought quickly. Skynet is in a lot of trouble. Wop trying to go in onto him right now. They might actually be able to get this kill. Is this going to be the first blood? They need a little bit more. But unfortunately, Schlinks just can't right-click hard enough. And no first blood just yet. Yeah.
So, I mean, Skynet is... this is a pretty dangerous lane for him. There's a lot of potential for him to go down. Of course, burst damage coming up from Whelp. And Schlinks, he's going to be constantly putting some sort of pressure with his constant Shadow Word spam. And the evasive Ricky Maru, who can just like come into your lane and cause absolute chaos.
Yeah. So, of course, this is Chidawi here towards the bottom lane, going up against Adestam. I mean, Adestam does at least have support here, but can they kill Nyx Assassin, or are they going to actually be able to kill the Clockwork on the top lane first? I think that is where this is going to come down to.
Yeah, I think you make a very good point there. I think it's far more likely that Clock goes down, but it looks like they are going to look for rotation around and see if they can kill Nyx. But he's not an easy kill. Very good Spike Carapace.
Yeah, Spike Carapace actually doing a lot there to try and delay anything further coming through here from the side of XTC. And Chidawi's just chilling there. He's saying, well, that's fine. Getting the wow off. And I still want to try and focus on this middle lane because WRG is not really trying to kill the Shadow Fiend. Like, a lot of teams will put a lot of pressure onto the Shadow Fiend early on to try and stop him because he gets that initial soul boost.
Yeah, I think they're happy with Castaway's ability to control this lane. I think, yes, it's a little bit unfavorable currently, but Castaway is probably one of the best mid laners, so they will leave him to his own devices and rather focus on maybe trying to slow down Anti-Mage's farm.
Look at Santo. He is literally running around the Dazzle and he's dropping a Tango the whole time, trying to bait the Dazzle in. Just trolling so much.
Yeah, that's if that works.
Well, Chidawi might be in a lot of trouble right now. There is the Spike Carapace coming out. They're just waiting for it perfectly. This is going to be the first blood. Adestam getting it onto the carry as well, timing it perfectly.
Yeah, maybe a little bit unnecessary. Oh, they go vision on Sansa there as well. He's going to de-ward pretty quickly. But yeah, getting the first blood that way around, I didn't expect. But then again, Chidawi is very well known to be a very aggressive laner. And he got caught off guard there and very well played to Ecstasy.
I mean, the healing coming through is just doing so much damage, especially when Chidawi goes onto all of the creeps. The Dazzle's just going to come in, move forward, and get a couple of heals off. Chidawi misses a stun. Onto Adestam right now, but with Santo here, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to actually kill him the second time around.
Yeah, it seems like they're sort of setting up this dual lane. They realize, okay, if we can get something up on Chadawi, that would be great. We can't afford to really let him die. And yeah, he's not doing terrible considering the fact that he died. If you look at the clock where he's only managed to find himself one last hit. And I mean, at the same time, Chadawi is finding farm. So that is still a pro, even though First Blood did go the opposing way.
Yeah, I mean, it's 11-0 versus 1-5 looking at the two offlaners. Middle lane, not much has actually happened. It seems like both the teams are just comfortable with the two mid laners basically going man-to-man, mono-a-mono.
Yeah, and I think it's still pretty scary. Deppy is still a very strong mid laner, and his SF is in particular very, very strong. He's sort of like a sniper with these razors. He's very, very accurate and barely ever misses. So it's a little bit of a concern, but then again, Castaway, I'm sure he's more than adequate to deal with the sort of pressure.
You see Santo coming in towards the middle lane here with a hasted ruin. He does, of course, get scouted out, but this might actually be another kill onto Deppy. Well, it's going to be the first kill onto Deppy. Castaway actually getting that, so it's a 1-1. Haste run up for Santo, paying off.
Yeah, really big kill there, and I suppose maybe overextending, but I guess it's a difficult situation. Like you said, there was a haste run, so even though it could be scouted out by the sentry, there was just not much he could do. He overextended.
Now he has to be very careful right now. He does not have enough mana to do anything except for Spike Carapace. The healing bomb is there onto him. Do they actually have enough damage? Unfortunately not. Chadawi just runs out of there. It is just before the 5-minute mark, so he'll also be able to shrine up if he needs to. Check, he's spamming there up, and he's just going to heal up at that 5-minute mark. Perfect timing for him. And, you know, constantly not having any mana in this lane up against the anti-mage is really hurting him. Luckily, though, Spike Carapace only costs 40 mana.
Yeah, he's going to be trading blows quite often with the anti-mage, and that's going to consume a lot of his mana. He does have a mango, like you say. And I suppose another point to have is Chadawi is still quite a tanky hero. He's got decent armor and decent regen, so he is quite sustainable. The fact that he went down is a bit unfortunate, but he is still quite a difficult individual to bring down.
Well, let's have a look here. Adestab just constantly eating away once again at Chadawi's mana. Chadawi still needs to make sure that he has enough for that Spike Carapace. Otherwise, he will instantly drop Santo, taking a lot of damage right now. Are they going to try and move in onto him? They decide to back off, but he goes once again. I think he was within sentry range there previously, or he was actually attacking. However, Chadawi does not have any mana right now. Are they going to be able to get the sun off? No, the silence is there onto the Vengeful Spirit. He does manage to get the sun off, but the Spike Carapace is there as well. The stun comes through, but it misses everyone. Yeah. And quite a lot of action happening here on the bottom lane. I want to actually focus on the top and the mid lane to see how they're doing. But as soon as I take my eyes away from bottom, stuff happens.
Yeah, I think this is probably the opportune times because Chadawi has to fall back. But I mean, if we look over in the mid lane, Castaway is sort of catching up decently. The CS was heavily disadvantaged towards him, and now all of a sudden he's right back in the fray.
But I mean, as soon as you have a couple of levels up on the Invoker, you can just get Exhort up as he's doing now while he's farming. Exhort and Wex, and if he ever needs to heal up, of course, he just spams out the quest. But we might see another gank coming in onto Deppy right now. Santo busy scouting it out. He wants to go in. He wants to move forward. Or is he just going to try and need some experience here?
Yeah, maybe he will catch Deppy stacking her here. Deppy's in fact not going to stack. He's just going to clear up a way for himself and wait for his, I assume, yeah, just some items to fly at him. Maybe he's going to bottle crow. Okay, seems not. But, I mean, yeah, maybe the Ricky could have sapped some experience there, but not the end of the world. They just know now that the lane's open for Castaway, who's having a pretty decent time. Considering how sort of rough the lane was, I think that one kill that was set up by Santo made a very big impact for him.
I mean, we're looking at 7 minutes in. Only 700 net worth, but it is favoring WRG. And I think if they can get the lead, it is going to help them out quite significantly. We'll have a look at the net worth shortly coming up. But looking at the last hits, 55 and 23 up here for Whelp. Whelp is having the time of his life. And sure, the anti-mage is also doing okay, but he's actually had to deal with an offlane hero. He's had to deal with someone in his face the whole time, and that's why it's a 57 and 25. Keep in mind, you also get experience on your denies versus a 49 and 17. There is quite a big difference between the two.
Yeah, the only pro is that Adestam did get first blood, so he has sort of a gold advantage, even though his last hits are a bit low, which is a pretty nice for him. So considering that he was in an aggro lane, so he in fact is sort of keeping up because of that, and the sort of aggression that they were showing. Yes, it's pretty pretty hard
Stacks,
for
dude.
him to find some farm. But yeah, there we go. These stacks up. I don't think he's going to be able to clear it anytime soon. But
Well, here comes Deppy. He can clear through this. It's a
Yeah.
triple stack coming through. But I think
Oh.
they will... Oh, wait. Deppy missed the raise? That is very uncharacteristic. And a Hadouken coming through as well. Antimage just goes straight back into the lane, letting Deppy farm this up. And this is a significant amount of gold going the way of WRG.
Yeah,
XTC, sorry.
commentator's curse there. I praise that he never misses a raise and then misses one on standing store creep. But a very, very rare error coming out from Deppy. And
Yeah.
I don't
I
think
was
we'll
about
see
to
that
say,
again.
it's not a very, very rare error for you, though.
No. Oh, wow. Not, that's my daily basis. I throw zoning raises when I play.
Zoning, just in case there's a random invis hero walking
Yeah,
around,
yeah.
even though there is no Ricky or bounce out on
Yeah,
there.
it's like my chronos. Also zoning chronos.
Creep zoning, of course.
Yes, of course. But I
well-
mean, they will still be happy with it. Deppy's finding farm, but still Invoker left to his own devices. They haven't really put too much pressure on Castaway here at all.
And Whelp as well.
Yeah.
Whelp is sitting on 4,100, all of a sudden overtaking Adestamp on this bottom lane here on the anti-mage. Adestamp sitting on around 4,100, so 100 net worth difference between the two. And that's considering Adestamp also got a kill.
Yeah. We must also keep in mind, like, Castaway, he might be a little bit behind currently, but he's now just picked up his Hand of Midas. This is going to slowly escalate him.
Free 10-minute Hand of Midas,
yeah.
really not bad, considering he has infused Raindrops as well. Sitting on level 10 already, so he can go for a talent if he wants to.
Yeah, I think he usually go for a Quas or an Exort here. It's just, your spells just get amplified so much more than sort of getting 125 HP, so...
For 15 damage. I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't think you go for the 15 damage majority of the time.
oh, I think I missed the kill there. It was onto Santo here. XTC getting the kill.
Yeah. They drop down the sentry. They lose the sentry, but they secure the kill. So 2 sentries drop. That's 200 gold we must keep in mind. Utilized by Ecstasy to secure the kill, which was probably 200 gold, maybe 300 gold. So I suppose it's pretty good. But again, a kill going over just to Adestam. I know he just gets a support kill, but it's going to help him with that net worth margin.
Schlinks, of course, did drop the rock here onto the top lane, trying to go for a kill onto the Clockwork. And trying to do a bit of damage onto the tier 1 tower. Everything's quite passive at this point. Both teams still feeling each other out, trying to get a pick off here or there. But I have a feeling this is about to explode. Looking at the Shadow Fiend, he's building up towards his next item, which is, of course, going to be that Dragon Lance.
Yeah.
And
Deppy, are they actually going to be able to go for this kill? They do have support there, Santa as well as Chidawi. Is there going to be enough? They actually do jump on. There's the Sunstrike coming through. Is this going to be a kill onto Deppy? It's not going to be enough. They don't have it. They don't have what it takes to actually kill him, and that is purely due to the Ogre Club that he's wearing.
Yeah, now they got to get themselves out of dodge here as the supports have rotated in. But yeah, a little bit unfortunate. I think the Sunstrike was shared with the creep there. Could have been a lot more damage, but Deppy managing to survive. That's really nice for him. Big rotation wasted there for Chidawi. He would like his first Vendetta to be successful. And
I mean, that's normally your surprise, too,
yeah.
because sure, the enemy keeps tabs on it and everything, but it still always comes up as a surprise as to where you go.
Yeah. But I mean, Shadow Fiend's pretty farmed. He's not a squishy hero by any means, so we must be aware of that. He's not the easiest target for the Vendetta gank.
Adestam here just constantly putting pressure onto this bottom tier 1 tower. It does get glyphed up on 105 HP, so it is in deny range if they do manage to push out the creeps just a little bit. And I think there you go, Santo getting the getting the deny. I mean, that's a big deny considering Adestam was constantly pushing up the tower, trying to get it, trying to force it out, pushing up the creep wave.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a pretty good timing on Battle Fury that's going to come out for Adestam. I mean, he should get it about 14, maybe 15 minutes, and they'll be happy with that. Or Sunstrike attempt on the top lane, but not going to catch anything out there.
And Whelp getting the top tower, so 5,800 net worth for both the, for the Morphling as well as the mid here up on Castaway. Castaway doing actually very well, so it's 5,800 net worth on 3 of the 4 cores.
Yeah, that's, I think the fact that Depi is still keeping up is pretty important, as well as Adestam, his farms only escalate as soon as he gets that Battle Fury online, so we must keep an eye on when that potentially does get picked up for him, and he's doing just good work. I mean, he's just doing anti-mage things, sort of AFK, hitting creep, and
He should have it around the
getting under
14-minute mark, though, but considering he's gone for a full poor man shield and power trades,
Yeah.
it really isn't a bad timing window for him.
No, not at all. I think it's, in fact, great timing, so he'll be happy with the sack. I mean, he's a little bit low here, but maybe something into a Sunstrike, but that would be still, I think, a difficult kill. I don't think there's that many points into Exor currently for the Invoker.
And he has a spell shield as well, so it will reduce a lot of the damage coming through from the Sunstrike.
I'll take back my statement. The Sunstrike is pure damage, so I don't think it's going to really make too much of a
That
difference.
is very
there.
true. That is
Yeah.
very true.
But yeah, he's actually got a lot of points in Exalt right now. So the Sunstrike could potentially be a bit of a problem, but they need to lock him down for an extended period of time. They will need the Nyx or something like that if they want to stop Adestam for the time being. Or if they're happy of just trading farm with Whelp, that's fine for them.
Keep in mind, Morphling's Lincoln
Oh.
Sphere. Oh, wait.
That's
I missed that one towards the bottom lane.
Yeah, it just Chadawi using a Vendetta successfully.
Well, there's a hook shot straight in onto Chidai right now. They actually do want to jump onto him. They do manage to go in. He does not have any mana to do anything. Will they be able to get the kill? There you go. Anti-Mage using his ultimate. And, well, having 3 points up into mana break does make a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, there was just not much he could do. Even the cogs took a little bit of mana away, so he was absolutely on zero. So as soon as Anti-Mage threw out the ulti, it was a certain kill. And that's Battle Fury flying out now for Adestam.
Depi managed to also get a kill there, and that was onto the Ricky.
Yeah. Wow. So that's really good for them. Managing to find 2 kills. Ecstasy having a pretty decent start here, and the fact that the Shadow Fiend is finding a kill is really big. He's now actually going straight for a BKB, realizing he is playing up against an Invoker.
Well, the Lincoln Sphere is up on the Morphling, and this actually might have a big impact in the game as well if they try and gank him, if they try and roam onto him to try and lock him down. So Schlinks is just busy mocking there with his ultimate. I don't know if you were hearing that.
Yeah, I heard it. I thought, oh, the rock got dropped. I'm looking everywhere on the map.
What's
Where is
happening?
their
What's
fight?
happening?
Yeah, but yeah, cheeky. But I mean, I've seen really good players making mistakes and not cancel it and drop it by mistake.
Oh, yes.
So, if I was a MGO leader, I wouldn't be very happy about it. But Sansa doing some good scouting at you onto Depi.
Definitely. He just has to be careful if he moves into the middle lane that he doesn't actually get pincered up. Although, yeah, there is a sentry ward right in the middle lane. So if he decides to move towards middle, he might just get scouted out. But I don't think they have the heroes to actually kill him just yet. Come on, move in a little bit closer. Nope. Does not seem he will do that. Chadawi, however, scans out Adestam, as well as Dota and Die. And will they actually go into him? There's a double impel coming through here from Chadawi. Getting an instant kill. Will they decide to turn around? There's TPs coming in from Doom Bunny. It's just not going to be enough. The positioning coming through there from Chadawi, getting a 2-hero impale was just insane.
Yeah, and this is something that we didn't really speak about, how good Morphling is up against Adestam. He's got no mana,
Well,
he's in
there's
trouble.
the rock coming through as well as the Sunstrike. They do manage to just blow up Adestam instantly. Doom Bunny's in a lot of trouble himself. He does, of course, use his Shallow Grave, but it's not going to be enough. This is going to be the end of Doom Bunny, or is it? Yeah, there you go. Very well played coming through from WRG, just showing their prowess, showing their damage output they have. Morphling waveforming through, the rock being dropped, and the Sunstrike just being on point.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing there was a replicate of the Anti-Mage just consumed all his mana. He had no chance of blinking, so it was an easy sort of setup for them from there. So it's something we didn't really touch on. It's
Donnie brought
really
that up. Donnie, I think,
Okay,
did
yes.
bring that up to say, well, you just replicate the Anti-Mage and take away all of his mana, then what can Anti-Mage actually do?
Yeah, it's sort of like the Terrorblade versus Anti-Mage problem, but Depi gonna try and do something here, but he's very tanky. He's extremely tanky. He's got treads as well as the Dragon Lance, and going into that BKB, difficult kill if they are going to try.
Just out of range of the swap there from the Vengeful Spirit, trying to go onto the Morphling as well. But Depi will have his BKB up now as well. And is the BKB the timing that XTC wants to push or to group up?
I think it's just sort of, if we take any sort of pickoffs and if just in case the Invoker comes into the fray, they know what they're dealing with. Castaway Invoker is just always going to be a burning sort of problem.
Oh, well, they do
Almost.
decide to jump onto Santo. Santo goes on to the tricks of the trade. Sunstrike coming through, but unfortunately, Dota and Die, he is graved up, but they do decide to actually get the counter kill. And is it going to be a kill for a kill? It is, support for a support. I think they'll be happy with that from the side of XTC, considering they are a bit behind. And this also means no Ricky for this mid-tier one push.
wow.
But Castaway comes through, gets a huge tornado combo. Is the Dazzle actually going to be the first one to drop? The stun comes through from Chadawi. Now they want to turn around onto Deppy. Deppy is blown up. That is 3 heroes down. Unfortunately, Skynet might be in trouble himself. Very well played by Chadawi, getting up his spike carapace, moving into the cogs as well to just stun Skynet a little bit further. There's the Impale, and this is going to be the 4th hero down for the side of XTC. WRG just dominating right now.
Yeah, that fight was just great. Triple tornado catching out there from Castaway, and he just could throw the combo on top of it, and he's not going to mess up that combo.
Clinical precision coming out there by WRG. Perfect timing, perfect targeting, and they just walked over XTC, it felt.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Castaway is starting to get a little bit out of control. I think his boots of travel have arrived. He is pretty comfortable. I like the fact that he keeps the clarity on him. This is something that I've noticed with Castaway, and not a lot of invokers do. Because you consume so much mana, there's always a deficit. He just keeps the clarity on him when he's working through the jungle.
Yep. And I mean, that's why the infused raindrops are just so important up on the invoker, giving extra mana regen as well.
Yeah.
One thing we did not actually... Oh, that's just the Warlock saying he wants to drop the chaotic offering. One thing we didn't bring up was the BKB was up, I think, by the Shadow Fiend. He did not use it. And the Shadow Fiend, being as tanky as he was still blown up by a perfect combo coming up from Castaway.
Yeah, and that's a very good point. But however, if he had BKB in that fight, that would have been a completely different outcome. But he didn't have it at that stage. Now he does, so it's interesting. We're seeing sort of a trend with Shadow Fiends going BKB and straight into Butterfly, and sort of being that siege tank where he's impossible to kill and does... Oh, hookshot top lane.
Oh, hookshot
Sanso.
is...
Oh!
Sorry, I missed that, but the hookshot was there. Give me a quick brief rundown. What happened?
Well, he just managed to get the blink off before a battery assault managed to trigger on him there. So they had the dust, and Deppy was also in the area, so it could have been a very quick kill, but good escape there from Sanso.
Well, the split push is real here by from Whelp. So looking at the tier 2 tower bottom, sitting on roughly around a quarter HP, and now the Morph just TPs up towards the top lane. This is the power of the Morph, that the anti-mage, I mean, lots of people think Morph needs a lot of farm. He does, but as soon as he has his Lincolns up, he can actually start split pushing up pretty safely, versus anti-mage can still get caught out.
Yeah, I mean, Business Travel is also a great farming item on him, so it doesn't...
Oh, they actually do manage to get a good dust off onto the Nyx Assassin. Nyx Assassin does get his spike carapace off. Will they actually be able to get this kill? It's a raise coming in from Deppy. You said he doesn't miss a lot of raises, and there you go. He just proved that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, really nice by him there. The Ricky illusion, they're going to know that there is vision there now. So, Sanso, he's going to look to maybe do some sort of a player, but this is a scary situation.
I would not go in onto the Shadow Fiend if I was the Ricky. That is ballsy play coming up from him.
Yeah, I mean, Sanso, calculated. He would say it's calculated. But he gets
he
it.
can say calculated. From my point of view, that is completely different.
It
But
is risky.
it is risky considering there is a BKB up, and if they did decide to... Oh, I heard a hookshot coming in right now. The hookshot actually going in onto the creeps, but Castaway might be in a bit of trouble. Castaway gets an invoker. Well, Castaway gets an invoker. Castaway is an invoker, and he gets a good tornado off. Now, is there going to be any kind of follow-up? There was a dust onto him. Nothing further from this, but this might just be WRG's time to decide, well, let's actually counter-engage right now.
Yeah.
And Adestam has to be wary of this. He TPs straight into the jungle, or blinks into the jungle, TPs out, and good awareness coming up from XTC. However, 21 minutes into the game, they are 7,000 net worth behind the side of WRG. And this is where WRG strives.
Yeah.
They take control of the map, they take control of your jungle, and they just do what they want to do.
Yeah.
If you're XTC, you have to try and force WRG into an uncomfortable position and put the pressure back on them. Try and regain control of your jungle. Try and regain control of the game.
Yeah, it's a constant strength of theirs. Just controlling the map is one of the fundamental things that WRG do right. And also the fact that the efficiency, like Castaway, he had a tough laning stage, to be fair, and all of a sudden he has this huge impact when he returns sort of to farming in the game. Now all of a sudden he's topping the net worth.
This is why Donnie also said Castaway is just so much better on this hero than he is on any others, and he's still good on all of them. Yeah. But Castaway's Invoker, even on the international scene, was remarked upon to say, who is this guy? And he's just proven that now with a couple of fights, just getting into, it's not about anything other than positioning, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, he's definitely up there. He's close to one of the best Invokers that I've I've ever casted, for sure. And, I mean, he's just difficult to deal with. And Invoker is just one of those heroes who's got a huge, like, arsenal of weapons. And it makes life very difficult for them to sort of deal with him constantly throwing out spells.
Well, that WoW is a typical thing about the Cosmo Invoker that we've been talking about. It literally is WoW.
Wow.
But looking at Deppy's form slowly but surely increasing. He's working up towards a butterfly. He does not have buyback right now. If he does die, Chadawi is busy eyeing him out. Is he? Nope. I don't think they will actually have anything. Skynet is there. And then we'll decide to back off just for a little bit. But once he has that butterfly up, he still has to be careful. He does have magic immunity with the BKB. Butterfly will provide him with that right-click immunity, so to speak. But he can still take a lot of damage.
Yeah, for sure. One of the things I want to touch on, though, is Chadawi. He sort of died in lane, and I spoke about how he's actually still getting farm. He is significantly farm. If we compare him to the Clockwork, he's about 3k ahead of him, just
That's
under
nearly
3k.
double.
So it's quite impressive how well he's done. Of
Oh,
course, you got
Santos actually does it up right now. The hook shot is there straight onto him. He, of course, does have tricks of the trade, but he blinks forward. No trick. Oh, there's the tricks of the trade coming up right now, but they don't really care. And is he actually going to be able to get out of this? He is. Can he actually do it? Do they say, oh, Adestam coming through with a cleave coming up there from the Battle Fury. Gets the kill.
Yeah.
What a play.
That was close. That was really close. That dust was wearing off ever so slowly.
I think the dust had worn off by that time. That's why Adestam just decided to attack the creep.
Yeah.
They, of course, saw someone being pushed away, but he is invis. And Adestam getting that kill is much, much, much needed. However, Adestam's in a lot of trouble right now. Ishling's going to drop the rock right now. He's busy thinking about it. He wants to do it. Is he going to? Do they have any kind of follow-up? No boots of travel up on the Invoker. There was on the Morphling. I'm very surprised that the Morphling didn't come through with a shotgun.
I'm surprised there wasn't at least an attempt for a Sunstrike there. If the Sunstrike maybe landed, the rock could have been worth it.
The rock, the Sunstrike, and the Morphling coming in with his boots of travel. We have not brought this up. Morphling has shotgun.
Oh. Is Santo gonna foil the plans here as they do smoke and it gets broken? But
Oh, another great hook shot coming up by Skynet. Pushing it back, Santo. Tricks of the trade once again. Delaying everything just that little bit, and Santo manages to get it out alive. Now they want to turn around onto Help, but here's the rock onto 4 heroes. It's going to be a lot of damage being pushed out. Deppy costing his ultimate as well. They want to turn around. They're only going to be able to get the rock. It is the Ricky as well down. And the side of WRG, they have to back off. A great rock being dropped, but it's just not enough.
yeah, and that consumes at least a 10-second BKB on Deppy, but
Oh, blown up right there from Whelp. The shotgun is real. And now Whelp wants to move in forward. He has to be careful. They want to turn around onto Deppy. Deppy gets stunned up just a little bit. The ice wall has popped up. It is not completely catching anyone out just yet. And XTC will go away. Oh, what a tornado coming through. Catching out both the cores and casting out a TP. Now they want to turn around onto Deppy. There's the shotgun. Is it enough? Deppy gets shallow graved. Now they want to turn around once again. They actually do manage to get a kill there. But it's going to be Whelp onto the Anti-Mage. No, Anti-Mage decides to get away. They want to turn around. Is it going to be onto Doom Buddy? The ice wall's not going to be enough. And is there going to be anything to follow up from this? Just sick plays coming from both of the teams.
yeah, I mean, WRG, they had a poor fight there. They lost one, yes, and as well as their tower, but they just managed to turn that one around and bringing down pretty big heroes, that of the Shadow Fiend as well as the Clockwork.
You know, it's that
Very good
whole
trade.
Shaka Zulu approach. The old Zulus, when they used to fight, they would engage, they would split up the enemy and force them to choose to focus one or the other,
Yeah.
and then they would just enclose again onto them and just completely destroy them from all sides. And that is what WRG did.
Yeah, nice war reference there. I like it.
Well, this is war right now. This is the winner bracket final.
Yeah. So obviously the winner here goes through to the final. Has
Guaranteed
a nice
top 2.
Yeah, it's a very big game, and like we said and we heard on the panel, these two teams have met up before in that situation. So we'll see if that will happen again.
A week ago. And this time though, XTC, they managed to take a game off WRG last week. But WRG just looking so dominant, even though the score is 8-12. It's a 13,000 gold advantage going the way of WRG. And to be honest, that is mostly the 2 cores.
Yeah, and you must keep in mind they are playing against an anti-mage, one of the heroes that just farm at a tremendous rate. But he's been sort of he's sort of cowering in the trees right now. He doesn't really have a lot of space.
I think he's going to try and cut the creep wave, blink forward, get his Manta style off, cut the creep wave, and then TP out.
Yeah, for sure. But it's still not really.
Courier. Or is he going to get the courier? Nah, he TP's out.
Oh, okay. So
I wanted a courier kill.
I mean, that's so much time wasted. Anti-Mage not farming, but then again, we spoke about it when we spoke about the draft early on. We said they got a very greedy draft. SF is going to be consuming a lot, and
Well, Deppy, there's a shotgun. BKB up. Is that the 10-second BKB charge coming through? The Sunstrike is there as well. I think that was the 9-second BKB used. They're still pushing forward. They do manage to get a kill onto Chadawi. I did not see where that was happening. And Deppy getting blown up so close. But once again, the shallow grave actually keeping him alive. I was just focusing on that. I was waiting for Whelp to come through with a second shotgun. Unfortunately, it was not enough. He does not have his butterfly up just yet.
yeah. So his agi is going to start getting really big. They must be a bit concerned.
Well, this is going to be XTC. They want to turn around. They want to go into the Morphling. Morphling, he's being maladrained. Morphling's going to die. He needs one more hit. The Aegis is down. I did actually not even see that they went for the Aegis there. But here comes Deppy. Blowing it up is not timed correctly. It's not timed correctly. And unfortunately, that is going to literally be that. No more engagement. I can't believe that. That was so close. It was nearly a split perfect timing. He had to time that because the replicate was still up.
Yeah, but one of the biggest pros here for the side of Ecstasy is the fact that, okay, they brought down Aegis and it was only online for 1 minute, so they didn't lose too much space or time in the Aegis. Usually you want to either farm or find objectives with an Aegis, and they didn't really manage to do any of those, so they'll be happy about that exchange.
I mean, getting an early Aegis pick-off means WLG can't push high ground right now.
Yeah, for sure. And it also means that the next Roshan is going to have Cheese on hand, and they can contest for that one.
But Cheese on an Invoker is extremely potent. However, Cheese up on a Shadow Fiend, in my opinion, even though Invoker needs the mana, but that Cheese on the Shadow Fiend means he can go in and he can tank and right-click. That's his job.
Yeah.
Then he BKBs up and he cheeses, and then he's got basically a second life. So it's going to be so important for the side of XTC to actually try and get that.
Yeah.
But looking towards the late game, though, who do you give it to?
Late game, ultra late game. So we're talking like 25 on everyone. It goes the way of Ecstasy, surely, because they got Anti-Mage and SF. The X factor is really
Can't you just
Warlock.
make an illusion of the Anti-Mage and kill everyone else?
I think they just kill that illusion so quickly, eventually. Like the SF in particular, he will have MKB or something of that sort.
True, that is very true.
Yeah.
But this is literally a throwback to TI2, TI3 days. The old Burning versus Fear, or the Burning versus Black kind of lineups.
So this is also something we didn't talk about, the synergy of Alacrity on
Whelp.
He has DD as well. He's just hitting
there's
so
the shotgun onto Doom Bunny. Doom Bunny, of course, he graves himself up, but they do manage to get a good tornado off. Unfortunately, Doom Bunny, he manages to troll up. Oh, the hook shot comes through, narrowly missing. The dust is there, and the dust does catch onto the Ricky. I don't think they will actually push up any forward or any more from this. So this will... No, they still want to push up.
Yeah, they know BKB's down, in fact, on Deadbeat.
And the Warlock Rock is still there, so look for this Rock to actually come in. Well, there's the shotgun coming through. Is it going to be enough to actually kill him? They do drop the rock. This is going to be the death of Deppy. They're turning around. The Venge is down as well. That's 2 heroes. Do they have buyback? I am not sure. He, of course, does. There's 2 buybacks up here for the side. There's the first one coming up here by XTC. They still want to turn around. Wolf, he's busy going in onto the tower, but the Anti-Mage is here. Can the Anti-Mage do anything, or is he going to actually drop from this? No, it is going to be they want to turn around onto Wolf. Wolf is taking a lot of damage himself, but he's still alive. Wolf is there, and now they want to go in for more. There's a triple kill up on Wolf. He is hungry. He wants to prove a point here, and he wants to end this game very soon.
Yeah, buyback force out from the Anti-Mage, that's a little bit of a concern for them. They also back themselves out there.
Anti-Mage and the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah.
That's a 5-man wipe and 3 buybacks.
Yeah. And I mean, Anti-Mage hasn't really got the farm that he would like at this stage of the game. He would like to be far more ahead. Now he's not only sacrificed a huge amount of net worth, he's also not going to be able to farm for a couple of minutes because of the penalty that you do get from buyback. So this is pretty costly here for Ecstasy. They're definitely in a major deficit right now.
And what we just saw happening there, of course, was the Ricky smoke.
Yeah.
It was popped. Anti-Mage blinked in. He manted, and the smoke was there. Anti-Mage could not do anything.
Yeah, a well-placed smoke is just Anti-Mage's bane. It's just able to deal with him so well, especially even if you're on your own high ground. So I think WRG, they're going to be very happy with the outcome of these team fights. They didn't manage to get any high ground objectives, but they once again have
Forcing
control
3
of the map.
buybacks is
Yeah.
just ridiculous coming up here. Look at the net worth currently on the Invoker. On the Cast Evoker. They should literally rename this hero for all South African players to Cast Evoker.
Yeah.
Get it, Caster? Cast as in he's a
I
spell
get it.
caster?
I get it.
Get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, currently sitting on 22,500. Then it is Walp on 20,000. Only after that, it's Adestam sitting on 17,000. But
Oh.
here's the side strike coming through. Very good. Oh, Jadawi getting once again a perfect impale off. They want to go to Deppy. Deppy, of course, pops his BKB up, and it's Deppy versus the world. Here comes Skynet. The clockwork hookshot is there. But unfortunately, Invoker, he just forced himself away. And Deppy is going to drop.
Oh.
He gets a kill. He's like, if I die, I'm taking you out with me. The problem here, though, is that's a die backup.
Yeah, on the demise there of the Shadow Fiend, he's Requiem and his Orphan secured the kill into the Ricky. So, I mean, that was the only rebuttal they had, and it was at the cost of the Shadow Fiend.
But not worth it at all.
Not even close. Not even close. So, again, great fight from WRG. And we're not going to see anything different from here on out, I feel. They're surely going to look for the high ground. They don't have Aegis. It's still a little while before we see when that potential respawn is. So about 48 seconds.
But look at this Cast Evoker. I mean, he's sitting with more money, and he's going up for the Orchids, after the Lincolns, as well as the Ags and the Octarine Core. 34 minutes in, he is 6 slotted.
Yeah. High ground's down. They still got the rock, so they can
Look
sort of
how
counter
quickly everything just melts and falls away.
Yeah, and they're just doing objective gaming here. Let's just go get all the melee racks, and thank you very much. We'll get ourselves on out of here. And this is WRG absolutely dominating these early stages.
With no buyback up on the Shadow Fiend, they literally can't do anything further. Let's just hold it up there on the buyback statuses at this point. And there you go. There's the shotgun coming through. Walp, of course, he's just straight morphing at this point. They do drop the rock. They do drop everything, but that's still 3 heroes are down, or 2 heroes are just died here for the side of XCC. And the Shadow Fiend is still not up.
Oh man, this is absolutely disastrous. This could even be Mega Creep.
Is this a disaster?
It seems to be a disaster.
Okay, there you go, there you go. We're just waiting for that chat wheel to come up.
It's a disaster.
It is Mega Creeps, but are we going to see a kill here? Anti-Mage is going to get caught out. He gets lifted up here by Castaway. Are they going to be able to do anything? No, the stun misses here from Nyx Assassin. And unfortunately, Adestam does make it out of there alive. Adestam still playing extremely well, considering the matchups that he had. But WRG is just showing they are in a completely different league than anyone else in South Africa.
Absolutely. I think WRG just played their normal game. They just look extremely strong. Castaway played out of his mind, as per usual. And I think just the general rotations, I think Santo had a very important sort of role to play where he was just scouting out the opponents, knowing their every movement. And Adestam couldn't find the farm that he was really looking for.
Yeah. I mean, Deppy started off good. He really did. But just comparing the two up there, sitting with 522 GPM up on Deppy, not bad considering how much they got dominated. Castaway sitting on 750 GPM, 8-0 and 11.
Yeah.
I actually want to know what Castaway's KDA is this tournament.
Yeah.
You know, we always hammer on about Adestam and Adestam not ever dying. Well, you know, he died twice here, which is still significantly better than
The rest of his team.
the rest of his team.
Yeah.
But versus his counterpart, Welp, 7-0 and 8.
Yeah. It was just a flawless performance. I think this is sort of like when I watch WRG play, it's like going to an orchestra and watching some amazing Beethoven being played. It's just wonderful.
Schlinks did not die a single time. He's the Warlock.
Yeah, I mean
He's the pos 5.
They
Well,
couldn't even
Santos.
get to him because the frontliners Chidawi and Santo just did so much work. They died a few times, but their impact was pretty good.
I mean, looking at the gold graphs here and looking at the score sheets, it literally gives a completely one-sided story.
Yeah.
However, the early game was not that one-sided. They actually played well. XTC actually managed to... Let's actually look at the graph to just show that. Oh, wait, I have to quickly go into the lobby, and then I'll just go back into the... There you go. Look at the graph here. It was even up until that 20-minute mark.
Yeah.
but that was WRG's timing. That was Castaway's timing.
Yeah.
As soon as Castaway got involved, you saw the triple tornado coming out into the deafening blast, into the EMP, and then the fifth spell was the meteor being dropped there as well.
Yeah.
That was a perfect 4 or 5 man spells being thrown at that point. It just changed the entire dynamic of the game as soon as he got involved.
Yeah, I think if you talk about that at the 20-minute mark, it's about 16 minutes. It was Ags picked up by Castaway, and that's where the impact got changed. So him
Hitting
picking-
that timing window
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah, his timings were just great, and even though his lane didn't start very well, it definitely transitioned into success, and that's what happens when you leave Castaway to his own devices in lane.
No, that's what happens when you leave Cast Evoker to his own devices in his lane. But guys, we're going to be heading back to the panel. I mean, Devin, Halbert, you guys, what did you think of that game? And what did you think of WRG's dominant performance?
Thanks, Ritz. It was a lot of fun. The cast was a lot of fun as well. Good to have you guys here. But man, it was an exciting game. But WG just doing WG things.
I mean, yeah, XTC showed some hope by actually winning their safe lane by securing farm, although they kept 3 heroes there. And I would say Nyx actually did create a lot of space. He kept 3 heroes there, and they kept trying to kill him. He only died once, I think, once or twice, and then the second time was like much later into the lane. So I think he obviously did quite well there with his mango strat, if you saw that, or the regen, because Nyx has quite a high base regen. I think it's like 5 or something, so it's quite ridiculous when you tango and have mangoes and all that stuff. I'm not really impressed by Scarnet. I think this game, his clockwork was pretty... I felt like he didn't hit many critical hooks, and like he was cogging at weird times. I think that was the weak link in Action XC.
So I mean, this Morphling pick, right? Let's chat about this, because we actually saw it earlier in the tournament, and it was kind of a thing. This isn't really good. In fact, I think we were talking about RDK at the time, thinking this is just not a great hero. But it seems like WG are certainly giving this hero some love. What's the appeal?
The situation. I think also one of the things that Morphling does for you is that it's that hero. If you know, Morphling is only a hero that you can pick if you're confident in your laning phase abilities, because it's a hero that can get dumpstered absolutely in the lanes, but once you get past that relatively safely, you get into like an early Lincoln sphere, then the rest of the game is like one of the easiest things in the world. Like you just never die, run around, bursting support in 2 shots. Basically like the easiest game. So I think one of the reasons why they also keep picking Morphling is they understand that the only time most teams will really be able to beat them is in the ultra late game. And if you have a hero that is both relatively good in the mid game, but also a beast in the late game, then you always know for a fact that you're going to have one very solid, strong hero no matter at what stage of the game you are, if you survive the lanes, which WRG pretty much guarantee that they're going to make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, Welp's basically getting an armchair ride on that lane. Like, he knows that they're never going to think of him first. Like, Jidao's already causing enough problems on the off lane. Then you have Castaway. I still don't know why you're giving Castaway an Invoker. Like, the guy's done that much work for so long now on that hero. And it's like, okay, we're going to ban out a couple of other heroes, but we'll give him the Invoker. It's like the perfect hero that they needed for that game. He's got insane amounts of control. He can basically almost spec into just about anything, except maybe an ultra hard carry. And then you have basically just, okay, I guess my job is to farm, boys, and that's it. It's just like I think he had his shotgun up at about 20 minutes, and he was like well into his next item. And at that stage, you could see like he's vaporizing supports left, right, and center with like 1 shot. He took out Deppy with 2 shotguns, and like I still don't know why Deppy decided to turn around and like, let's walk in, and like we made the joke like maybe he's just testing if the grave works, because like it was desperately needed when he took the second one.
I mean, yeah, Deppy was definitely pressured. I'd say, like when I mentioned Scarnet being the weak link, I would also say the supports on XC were also definitely the weak link. I mean, they stayed bottom, and Deppy was doing okay. I mean, obviously it's a favorable matchup with the cogs, damage he got, but then what do you call it? Santo was giving him a very difficult time out, I should say. Like he was following, like he got the kill on him, right? He rotated him and got the kill. And then if Deppy was like running on jungle, he was just leeching XP, hitting him every once in a while, and like Deppy has to play safe in the lane after the first death, because now he's scared of Santo, right? Plus, the 2 supports on XC are just sitting bottom, trying to like lane against Nyx. I think that's already that's a losing battle right there.
Yeah.
We also didn't really see a lot of sentry wards like out around the map to try and counter out the movement from the Ricky and the Nyx Assassin. I think also one of the major problems is, as we saw, like WRG sort of played like energy this game, because as soon as they finished the laning phase, they just kept encroaching on possible areas where anti-major or the Shadow Fiend could farm in. So again, you get in a situation where you just feel unsafe no matter where you are. Like every time when Dazzle wasn't right behind Deppy, you could see Deppy did not have any confidence moving across the map. Anti-mage spent half his time in the trees. Like he got some level of farm, but it just, when you feel that unsafe at all stages of the game, you never feel like you can actually play Dota, and I think that's what they managed to do. Once again, WRG with a weird-ish draft, stopping the enemy team from playing Dota, and it seems to work for them.
Yeah. Right, so we're just half a minute away from the next draft. What can they do differently? How can they improve? How do you
think
win this game?
pick up more control. One of the reasons why Scarnet looking so bad in that game was because he's the primary form of both initiating a team fight and controlling on the team fight. Like if he gets a bad hook in cogs, like immediately White Rabbit's going to have a massive advantage. They have an AoE that is enormous with the Warlock Golem. So I think like Scarnet, like he played badly, but it looked a lot worse because of the hero that he was on and the situation he was in. Like he had to hit the big ultis there, and you could see there was that one magnificent tornado where Castaway came in and he just nailed basically both of the ecstasy cores, and it just completely turned around that fight. And that was where you basically saw White Rabbit Gaming start taking control.
Anything to add, gentlemen? Anything that you might...
I'd say with the way to fix this will be find a way to prioritize Depi, but at the same time not lose your safe lane. So they need to figure out what kind of lane they feel comfortable with. Maybe it has to be a dual lane if they're going to have a support to run on the map like Santo is doing. They need to do the exact same thing. They can't do this tri-lane thing where they're having 3 heroes against 1 hero. It's not good. It's not a thing. So yeah, they need to figure that out. And I'm not sure what heroes they're comfortable with in that dual lane, but yeah.
I think actually the one thing that we've noticed this tournament, I think that's really, I had an idea, but this tournament's really solidified the idea that tri-lanes are basically not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Like you just,
you can't
you don't get
afford
anything
it.
out of it.
Yeah, you can't afford it with the laning mechanics. Like if you're going to win a mid lane, like you have to have assistance for your mid laner. Like Depi's doing, you can see Depi's winning in a 1v1 against Castaway, but White Rabbit Gaming knows, okay, we'll just pull in Santo.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, XCC is not doing the same. Like they have to have either Doom Bunny or more likely Dota and Die. And right now they just seem, they haven't, I think, made that click that like we need to actually help Depi. Because we can leave Adam. Like Adam has to find his farm by himself. Like he's got to become self-sufficient on that lane because Depi's going to be the one that gets us to where Adam can start taking over. Right now, Depi's, I wouldn't say being hung out to dry, but his life is being made harder because he doesn't have a lot of assistance from the sports that need to be there.
Do you think this might actually have to do with how these teams play against other teams? In other words, they probably don't have a Castaway against them most of the game, so they can dominate it. Yeah.
Like teams
So
that aren't punishing the tri-lane thing.
Yeah.
Any good team, I think, would punish that well.
The thing is, like, it can only go on for so long. Like, it's like White Rabbit Gaming last year learned, like, okay, we have to do X, Y, and Z to start winning. Winning finals and all the rest. And it's like, I think XCC has to get to that point where it's like, okay, guys, this wins against everybody else, but we don't want to win against everybody else and then lose to White Rabbit Gaming. That's not good enough. We want to win a final. We want to win tournaments. And what do we need to do that? We need to, change the way our game works. The players individually have to accept responsibility for certain stages of the game. And right now, I think the XCC supports are just not active enough in the early stages to justify the way that they're playing.
So we are, once again, just moments away from getting to that draft. Chances of a tree ban, gentlemen?
Chances are of a tree ban, yeah, 100%.
It's a coin flip right there.
Yeah, you never know, man.
Never know.
Like, good hero sometimes. Probably not an anti-mage ban, definitely. Do you think that it's worth banning Invoker? Because at this point, I think it's...
you have to ban Invoker.
But I think that's... I don't think White Rabbit Gaming are going to pick Invoker in the first 2, right? So I think they could potentially be trying to bait XCC into banning Invoker. Then you have a free pick. Like, they have to get rid of this one hero that's just impossible for them to deal with. So, and I've also tended to notice, it's been a long time since I've seen a team respect ban a hero and then actually win the next game. It feels like whenever you're forced into respect banning one particular player-hero combo after losing to it, you don't feel like you can recover. I think you lose so much momentum from having to ban that hero out.
Like, I mean, for me personally, I think the only real hero that XCC had an issue there with was the Voker there. Like, the rest of the heroes, like, that's going to happen. It's like, but the Voker was the real game breaker. Like, when he started getting involved, it's like they just don't have the same amount of control that thing provides.
I think the thing they're just going to change about this game is try and have a different safe lane, and try and have more active sports. I think that's what I think Depi thinks was like the biggest thing that game. That's what caused them to lose.
Something gives me the feeling that they might want to go back for Venge Carry. Because it feels like, I've seen this trend a lot with XCC, like they lose a game and then go for Venge Carry, do okay with it, sometimes win, and then try changing up later. But I think every time they try to change the mechanics of having this 4 protect 1 or like having Addison play a late game carry, they want to have him play a lot more early to mid game carry. It's like, it used to be Jug a lot, and they just like, instead of going for, they just like rush Blink Dagger on him and then have him go around Omni-slashing people. So this game, I don't know if they're going to do the same thing. Warlock banned instead. So
are they going to pick Legion now?
They left Legion. So normally when this happens, White Rabbit Gaming go for LC and or Tusk, like in the first 2. So
yeah, Chiao is probably going to get his LC. Like, I think at this stage, you're like, might as well just get that hero out of the way. Like, the Warlock isn't as big a deal. Well, the Tusk isn't as big a deal as the LC is.
Clockwork? Does Shidawi play Clockwork?
I've never seen Jedi Clockwork.
I've actually never seen it.
He seems more like a...
He likes tanky heroes that don't require that that many items. Clockwork is like
I'll see.
doesn't require much, but doesn't.
It's just
It's not
different.
tanky. Yeah.
Because it almost feels like he's not one to, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but he's not one to fall on the sword, right? So he'll like to take like cores that aren't going to likely die when they initiate. So
Chidao is more like a tank offlaner than like an initiator as such type of thing.
It's actually a very old school way of offlane that he plays it.
Yeah.
Like he's not in on this new hype of starting all the fights for his team. XCC now, what did they go for? Like, how have we not seen CM? We've only seen CM, what, one game this entire
that is
tournament?
crazy. You know why that is?
Yeah?
Fury is not playing for XD because that just inflates the stats, right? When Fury's around, all of a sudden you have like
CM every game.
Yeah, picked and banned every game that Fury is in.
I think we might see a White Rabbit CM, yeah? I mean, it's possible. I think a Legion CM is quite a nice combo.
That's
Right? And they're not going to beat CM on XC, I don't think.
Nah.
No.
They can do Clock SF again, eh? It is available. They're going to go CM.
wow.
All right.
CM,
CM.
yeah.
Right. Well,
Okay.
I'm wrong again, boys.
All right.
and
all right.
Snare always right.
Always. It's a curse, man.
I mean,
Okay.
okay,
Oh,
that
you
just
can't-
got South African and really toxic.
Lich. That doesn't seem as effective though as like Legion.
I don't know, man.
It
Lich
does-
is just
I think it does the same thing though, because I think it does the same thing in the lane. The thing about a Baron in the lane is just about the euphoric shield, right? You just run around, throw that shield, make it very difficult to be gone on. LC, once you get level 3, it does the same thing with the overwhelming odds as well as the
Moment of
press the
clarity.
attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with Lich as well, you keep denying the one particular lane. If you put like the frost armor on Legion Commando at level 2 instead of getting the frost blast, I think you can actually boss the lane even harder than with an Abaddon.
No, I think she's more difficult to kill. Like the Abaddon at least does damage the whole time.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like it becomes just an irritation to get the Abaddon out of the lane.
I mean, it's Legion Commander does, all right? He can just run at them with overwhelming odds. Like,
Yeah,
he just runs them. It's insane, actually. Like, he does a lot of damage, and the Frost Blast now, what are they going to do? Like, if it's some melee at us, like, I don't know. It's very
Like,
difficult
for,
safe
for
lane
me,
right
I think XC needs to fight this lane.
now.
Yeah.
Like they can't try any of this like passive. Let's try farm and
Maybe leave a
let's-
solo against them, like the off lane.
Yeah.
Somehow
Just-
dodge the lane.
Just pick Razor. Put Razor alone in the lane. It'll be fine. It'll be okay. Just every game can be solved with Razor.
you know what's scary is I don't think that's untrue, really. I mean, Razor's just a generally irritating hero. I mean, I think one of the things that we've seen a lot of is the fact that, you try to go in Razor and you slow yourself,
Yeah.
right? So he's just irritating as like a tanky frontliner, and then he completely just ruins one of your cores days,
Yeah.
like consistently.
Also, like laning against Razor, it's
horrible.
you think it's fun at level 1, right? Because you're like, oh, Plasma Field, not that big a deal. Or Static Link, not that big a deal. And then he gets the Instill current,
And
you're like, wow,
the thing is,
this
you also have a
terrible.
CM on the lane with him, so it's just
Yeah.
like Crystal Nova, Ice Block, and there's just like a.
Then you have no damage, you just die. Yeah, they could actually do that. Even Shadawi wouldn't go to that lane. Like, he'd be like, well, he'd be
I mean,
I
Ice
don't know.
Block's not really a
unhappy.
thing against him, right? Like, you can just take it off.
Yeah.
He
I mean,
can.
Legion is very good against CM lanes. Like,
Wait, can you? It's the Static Link isn't purgeable,
No,
right?
it's
No,
not
it's not
purgeable,
purgeable.
no.
Thank
but I mean,
goodness.
you get away. Like, you can run away. You can like chuck your Q and then W and run away.
Yeah, then you're
So, I mean,
fine.
yeah. So I think like he's gonna get a lot of XP because of the Lich. Lich can pull his lane back quite fast. So I think that the levels won't be a problem. And then once he gets levels, I think he'll be fine in the lane if they pick Razor, obviously.
That's if they should ban Invoker. They don't ban Invoker. They leave it. They're
I
like,
don't
whatever.
think Deppy's
guys.
gonna work. He's like, guys, it was
Yeah.
not the reason we lost. Trust me. just help
Please,
me
guys.
mid
Like,
lane.
unless he's getting the Invoker, there is no way you give that to Castaway again.
But I feel like we're on a bit of a stuck record here, because I feel like we've been saying this for like the last
problem
6
is, like,
months.
People don't learn. It's like
it's not even the
you know-
Invoker,
if you-
it's Santo.
You know,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like,
Santo,
like
like-
the problem is it's like the definition of insanity. Like you're either going to stop Santo by countering him, or you're not going to give Castaway the hero that he does the best on. Like those are your two options.
Yeah.
Most teams are not doing anything about Santo. Okay, so then don't give Castaway his best hero. They don't do either of these two things.
Like, if you're going to play against a team, you have to at least, I think you just have it aggro into WRG.
Lane.
This can actually, this has the makings of like a super aggro lane if they get the correct carry for this. Because right now, X is fine in the 1v1 versus LC, right? Doesn't really care too much about overwhelming odds or moment of courage. Forcing Glitch into a tri-lane situation is probably good overall for XCC. So if they are intent on running tri-lanes the entire time, then if they get a carry hero now that can go into that fight, it could
Is
actually
Tri-lane
disrupt.
good against Lich, because like there's even less gold in the lane, right?
Yeah.
And now you have 3 lanes. I mean 3 heroes there.
No, but then you don't. But then you at least guarantee most of the time that the XCC has been losing against WRG, right? They've been losing as a result of someone leaving the lane, or like one of the supports going missing. So if you can guarantee all the time where the supports have to be, like if the supports can't leave the lane lest they die because of a frostbite and the nightmare, then it makes the game a little bit easier, I think, overall. Like, then you at least Deppy doesn't have to worry as much in the mid lane about dying against Castaway.
Well, they need to, at the moment, I think they need to figure out how to let Axe jungle. You know what I mean? Because now you can't go top because of Razor.
Yeah.
So, like,
Bad
and now
match.
if what do you call it, Santo is running around with some hero to annoy Axe, they need to figure out a way that doesn't happen. Like, they need to figure out, they need to find a way for Axe to get farm.
Yeah.
Because Santo's gonna be being annoying.
Depends what they pick. Like normally they go for an invis hero for Santo at this point, right? Like you pick Ricky.
Yeah.
And then
Something that's just like.
they can get into a jungle.
Ricky
yeah.
Lich is pretty awful sports. Like, and then they've
Yeah.
got like one stun. No, they got like Legion ulti.
Yeah,
thought-
Legion LT.
We thought Tusk WW was awful supports. And then,
I mean,
Yeah, but that was Santo making big plays at the correct times.
but still, like if you just looked at the on paper, we were like, wow, this is trash. This is not gonna work. And then, yeah, then WRG
rabbit
things. I do like Razor, and I'm not happy that WRG have it though, because I don't know what XCC do about this. Because now this really puts a cog in their lane phase. Like you're mentioning, they have to now dodge
Judge.
the X lane.
is that an
Jug.
that is like an Addison comfort
Yeah.
hero,
Yeah,
right?
it is. It's terrible versus Razor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's one of the I'm so happy whenever I play Razor and I see a Juggernaut on enemy team. It's one of the best feelings in the
So
world.
you're gonna do aggro with Razor to try now because it's so good against Jug, then like shut him down.
With the Lich though?
They
It's not-
can.
It's kind of a...
I don't
No,
think they
like
have
with
to, though.
another hero, like Lich, Razor, and then another hero, and then
Well,
leave
well-
LC against someone. That's like pretty weird though. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like... Because you don't really have the... I mean, you can run somebody down, right?
just outfarm him.
But that's fair enough. But I think it's always like risky going into aggressive trialing because if you mess it up, you put yourself in a lot of trouble. I think that's a good one though. That's
Santo, that's a
that's
Santo one.
a lot of slow, really
It's
good.
a bit more farmy than Santo's used to though in the early stages.
When he's got a Lich on Slinks, like Slinks on Lich. To buy, like he can buy everything. Doesn't matter. He doesn't need items.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get all the items.
Is this Whelp Razor or are they gonna put this on Castaway? It's been mostly carry Razor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
no,
haven't seen
there's
this
on
no
the
way
safe
you put that on Castaway.
Yeah.
Also, can I just say that I think I'm finally going to see a Sand. Wait, no, I lie. I did see a Sand King win this weekend.
Yes,
so
you did.
Yeah, but
Sand
that,
King
that
Blade.
wasn't a game that like you should be glad Sand King won in.
Why must you be mean to my? Just look how smiley and happy he is. Just like he just wants to be
I
picked,
think his face is
guys.
stuck like that. Like,
He's not
he's
smiling.
not choosing to be happy.
He's a happy guy. Crick's the
He's like the Joker. He cut that into his
I'm with
face.
Albert on this one. He looks like such a chill dude.
Okay.
He's having a
He's
great
just
time,
the
man.
guy who walks into your lounge and you just sort of like, hey guys, how's it going? Everyone runs away. He's like, I just want to offer you like a.
Guys, how
a
can you
cold-
be sad if
cold-
you do the whole day?
Yeah.
Oh.
Quap banned last for XTC. I don't know. I don't know what they actually want mid for XTC. Maybe
What did they
DP
ban?
banned?
Quap.
They banned Quap, so they want Storm or TA. And then they're...
Storm's not that nice against Axe, I guess. Or
No, I
it's
mean
like-
XTC, like they banned Quap because they want Storm or TA. And then WRG...
Storm's not that bad, I would say, for XT, don't you think?
Yeah.
They don't have like that much on the stun and like the duel.
Yeah,
That's
like, and then that's pretty much it. And it's also one of the few heroes that you can actually use effectively against Razor. You jump him, you don't attack him, you just drag him and leave. And then you walk away. and
Yeah,
then-
like that's the problem again here. Is like there's nothing you can do against Razor. It's like what do any of the XC heroes do against Razor, except maybe Axe jump and call him right at the beginning of the fight and then just ignore him.
Do you
Yeah.
think White Eye was in big tier, yeah?
I
Am
don't
I going to be wrong about this one as well?
I just
They can
just
theory
for
both
Sean,
go.
I hope somehow they both pick Naga Siren.
Oh my.
No,
That's the worst thing in the world.
the problem is neither of these teams really plays Naga.
Thank goodness.
Listen here, friends. Listen here,
What the
right?
hell?
Are you
Of
kidding
all the
me?
predictions, I am sitting with the three finest analysts in
I
SA.
don't believe it. Like
You're welcome. I'll be here all
You
day.
can't predict SA Dota. It's just like, what's even happening?
10 out of 10 prediction from Halbert.
Okay, they've done this before though, so it's not like new, but it's not like, I don't know.
This is going to be
no,
so...
dude.
It's like they're like cosplaying OG. That's what they do.
Yeah, this is going to be the most boring game from WRG, definitely. So it's going to suck.
Storm, alright.
And they get Storm.
This is one of ours, right?
Yeah.
Just
I was
calling
right
it out.
first though on Storm.
Get out of here. Don't take this from me.
Naga Siren is gonna be
I only got one.
I'm very
I
pleased
don't
right
believe that.
now.
No.
I'm not pleased.
I'm-
I hate that
I'm
kind
not
of
pleased.
Dota.
I'm not happy about
It's the
this.
most boring type of Dota.
You know what? This is my favorite kind of Dota. Well,
Lich Naga. Oh my god.
Lich
that's like-
Naga
oh, no.
Siren
And
and
Razor.
Sand King.
And
Go-
Razor.
Boys, this is some fantastic Dota ahead of us. And to cast that fantastic Dota, of course, it will be once more Riddits and Scarby. Hello, friends. Are you enjoying this as much as I am?
Well, Halbert, I guess you can be right once a day, calling up the Naga Siren. Well played there. Scarpy, I mean, you were busy calling up the Ember Spirit quite a lot. What did you think of these last two picks?
I'm very surprised by the Naga, but I would like to see Castaway play it. I mean, like I said, we've seen it before, so I'm eager to see how he's going to be able to handle the map with it.
I mean, I'm quite interested to see if he's going for that no-tell kind of vibe, more fighting, kind of build. I know, Devin or Halbert, you also said that you like this kind of Dota, although I know you've also said in the past you don't like this kind of Chinese Dota, this delaying Dota.
I believe this is somewhat Russian, kind of ratty, illusion-based Dota. I like it. But you know what? Do it some justice for us, Ritz. Take it away. Have a great one, friend.
Thanks so much. Guys, so this is, of course, Game 2 between WRG and XTC. I mean, XTC has an amazing lineup here. The Crystal Maiden, the Axe, the Bane. Good setup coming through here. Scarpy, if you had to just look at the draft and ignore the players, who would you choose? What draft do you like better?
Well, I think Ecstasy, because WRG, it's just something we haven't seen. I'm still pretty dumbfounded at the fact that Halbert was right about something. So that's.
I mean, normally
I'm still in shock.
Normally we're right. Yeah. We're like sitting on a 7-0 prediction streak coming through here. And Halbert, I mean, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
I swear he was just making a joke. He's like, oh, they get it because I know it's Prophecy's most hated hero to watch. And he's like, oh, what if it's a Naga? And they like, never. And I swear Castaway just like, obviously just like had brainwaves with them. It's like, all right, let's make their lives a misery.
Well, this is definitely going to be interesting. This is not a standard Castaway hero.
Yeah. I personally enjoy watching a good Naga, and I would like to see Castaway's how he's going to be able to use this hero. He is still very talented when it comes to micromanagement, so I don't doubt that he's going to be a major concern for them. However, how's he going to fare in the mid lane up against the Storm? It's not an easy lane for him. So we'll see how quickly he can get his Radiance online, if that is where he's going.
I mean, I honestly don't know if he's going to go for that default Radiance build or if he's going to go for that fighting build, building up into HP, building up into a Diff Blade, going down that route of things.
Yeah, I think it's more likely than not he goes for the Radiance build.
I hope not, because I want to see WRG fighting here. I want to see them using that Naga ultimate and forcing, having Castaway actually being there as that right-click carry of old.
Yeah.
Before Radiance became such a big popular item. Going in for the Diff Blade, going in for, building into a heart, going for that tanky, in-your-face Naga. And then if you try and kill the Naga, hey, she just presses R. And after she presses R, all of your ultimates your Lich ultimate, just Sand King ultimate, everything just charges up. You release the R, and you just dominate.
So here's another point. When you're talking about the R from Castaway, he throws out the sleep, and that just allows Whelp to just tether infinite amount of damage away. Well, not infinite, obviously, there's a limit, but he's going to be able to sap up massive amount of damage, and then as soon as that sleep's done, they can turn a fight around pretty quickly.
I mean, getting around 200 to 300 damage off there during the duration of the sleep.
Yeah.
Onto heroes that are not predominantly HP prone, if I can put it that way. Bane, sitting with a very low HP pool, not the best, I think, strength gain, so to speak. Crystal Maiden is the big point here. Is Crystal Maiden can literally be 3-shotted after that.
Yeah. I mean, Crystal Maiden's going to have trouble no matter what kind of build Castaway goes for. If he goes for the Radiance, he's just going to send illusions at the CM if he feels like it, and she's just going to either die to them or just be low and have to go back to base all the time to regen, so never really going to be able to find farm. So this is the worst possible game to be a CM, and I can say that with a little bit of experience as a support player myself. It's not fun going up against a Radiance Naga, not by any means.
Well, guys, the game is paused, but they are ready right now, so let's get straight in onto this game. Is there going to be a quick smoke up from any of the two teams? Quick TPs in, any shenanigans? I actually think XTC should go aggressive here with, Adestam is actually going aggro here with Doom Bunny. I do like this. They do have healing coming up here with his healing ward. Having him, the Bane, and the Crystal Maiden, they actually do have quite a bit of kill potential. And there you go. There's the smoke. They're actually going to wrap around. We might see our first blood coming up before the bell even starts.
Yeah, Whelp, he's actually going to be in a precarious position here. He went straight for the bounty. He's actually walking down into the low ground.
Are you saying Whelp is going to shout? Whelp?
Oh, I think so.
Well, here we see, there's the smoke on the smoke. Can they actually get in range? Dota and Die is so close to actually get that Nightmare off, and unfortunately, it's not going to be there. It's not going to work. Santos has to back out, and this is going to be a possible triple ruin.
Yeah, we must keep in mind, Razor's one of the fastest heroes in the game.
No, wait. I have no idea why Whelp came back in there. He just wants to steal some damage, it seems like. No, yeah, he's okay.
That was an odd trade. I think that doesn't really favor him. Takes a bit of damage, has to eat one of his Sangos. Not the end of the world, but interesting exchange. Maybe wondering if Santo saw an opportunity, if he could sort of force someone out. And
I don't think that you want to go up against
yeah.
a Bane, Crystal Maiden, and a Juggernaut.
Yeah, it's
with
just
Spit.
it's just too much. So that's odd. I like the fact that XTC is going aggressive. It was actually something the panel touched on pretty well.
Oh, the Sand King! WRG getting that steal up onto Deppy, and now he's just body blocking Deppy, trying to make sure Deppy doesn't get in lane in time. Santo, the cheekiness, the plays coming up here from this guy. The guys on the panel were literally talking about him and how he controls an entire game, and this is why.
Yeah, Santo just makes you mad. Those kind of plays, even in the previous game, he used the Ricky to body block to make sure that there wasn't going to be a block and just give a favorable lane to
patience from
his mid
Zhao
lane.
is needed, because otherwise the side of XTC might just start tilting very early on. Wolf's actually TPing away here, TPing towards the bottom lane, so they're actually switching the lanes up.
Yeah, and this is really good. Skynet's going to lose a decent amount of damage. It's not really favorable to him. There is a decent amount of damage. Wolf can do well, but realizing that the aggressive lane actually got the sleep down onto the Legion in a bit of trouble here.
Are we going to see the first blood coming up here? Legion Commander is very low. Is there going to be a brace up? Is there going to be anything? 2 more hits needed, but they only get the 1. Sancho comes in now. He wants to turn around. He wants to show his presence once again, and everyone decides to back off. They just did not have the amount of damage needed to actually kill him, but it was extremely close. Wait for those level 2s, and XTC might decide to go for another kill.
Yeah, so
Or attempted kill.
this aggressive lane is actually not too bad for them so far. They sort of, however, they are pushing the creep wave underneath the tower, but I mean, it sort of foils the plans of WRG. They wanted to dual lane with the Lich, but it's sort of chaotic now for them. So XTC, I still like what they've done here.
I think XTC will be really happy there. However, I have to be very careful here. Donan Dai's being caught out of position. He gets stunned up, but are we going to see anything? Who are they going to try and turn around onto? Chidawi might be in a bit of trouble. The Crystal Maiden, though, is just not anywhere close. They do manage to get the sleep off, and there's the spin, the freeze. This is going to be first blood. Is it? Is it? There you go. And it is onto Adestam for the 2nd game in a row.
Yeah, nice. And however, at the same time, we got Schlinks just giving assistance to Castaway in the mid lane here, and he's going to get a pretty nice lane, considering it's not favorable in his favor. So
That's generally what favorable means.
yeah, it's it's late. Yeah, it's definitely not in his favor. Yeah. So I mean, helping him out here is definitely going to be nice for him. He can get his bottle up in decent timing, and after that, he should be okay. He can make decent trades here with Deppy, who's low on mana actually right
I mean,
now.
it's going to be very difficult to actually get a kill up onto Deppy himself. He's sitting on level 4 at this point, so he should technically be okay in this lane. I don't see Castaway, even with the help of Schlinks, actually getting a kill here.
Yeah, it's
Level
definitely
3 versus level 4.
Yeah, I don't think they killed Deppy. Usually you do see rotations come onto the mid lane Storm to try and, before level 6, to just try and shut him down. But again, they just say, we'll leave Castaway to his own devices. I don't think we're going to find too many more kills, or we're going to be able to kill him there. So let's try and deal with these lanes, which are not too bad from Ecstasy. So this time around, they don't have those 3 favorable lanes for them, WRG, so they've got to sort of mix it up a bit.
I do like what XCC did here, going aggressive, keeping the pressure on WRG. How many times have we as casters or stats people or watchers of the game just said the only way to beat WRG at this point is to keep the aggression on them, to not let WRG control the game and do what they want. And this is how XTC have done it in the past, and it seems like they want to do it again. However, with the likes of a Naga, it's going to be very difficult to keep the aggression on them.
Yeah, they'll be happy with putting a bit of pressure onto Chidawi. Chidawi, I suppose, is a little bit of a concern for them. He did extremely well in the previous game, and they don't want to really give him too much space once again. But, I mean, the only thing that XTC are really getting out of it now is sort of a big camp to pull with. It's really not all that favorable anymore. The only matchup that's doing pretty well for them, of course, is going to be the Storm, who is actually, in fact, Castaway is caught up with him, and surprisingly so. I thought the Storm would fare a little bit better in this matchup.
Schlinks wanted to go for a kill here onto Skynet. Very close. He actually did have a level 2 Frost Blast, but it just wasn't in range there towards that end. But are we going to see a kill onto Sand King right now? Sand King goes in for a stun onto the Crystal Maiden. Do they have anything? Do they have any follow-up? No, Santo was jungling, and he decides, "Oh, I'm going to be okay in here." It's wasting 2 of the support's time. They aren't actually putting pressure onto Chadawi. And as soon as they back off, Chadawi knows he has to play safe again.
Yeah, and I mean, should Chadawi still be happy with this? He's not doing bad. He's in trouble now, though.
Well, let's have a look here towards the top. There's the freeze coming through from the CM. And is this going to be a whole Adesam going through with a huge right click? But he has to heal up completely. Sancho might actually going for the stun. He misses. The applause is there. And that just completely tilts him.
Yeah, that was really, really close. I suppose if he caught him there, that could have been a pretty nice kill, but it's not the end of the world. They did lose Chadawi. This time around, the laning stage is a lot better for Ecstasy. They're finding a couple of kills here and there. I think both of them were onto Chadawi, if I'm not mistaken, so they would definitely be happy with that. At the same time, Whelp versus the Axe is something that I think we must sort of keep an eye on. The Axe is having a very difficult time here.
8-3 up here on Skynet versus 36-14. They're literally sacking the Axe, but looking at the 2 solo laners respectively, I mean, Skynet sitting on 10-3 versus 16-1 up on Chadawi, so both of them not doing as great as they want to, but Chadawi just pulling ahead a little bit.
Yeah, and Chadawi is also forcing all the supports to constantly be in lane. They can't really leave Chadawi versus the Juggernauts at any sort of given time. Until
Which means the Naga is safe, and they haven't managed to kill the Naga before 6. Naga already has 6, so of course does not have the Summon Siren up or skilled up. But still, knowing that that presence or that possibility is there has just protected the Naga Siren.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Castaway, he got a double damage, so he's going to farm up the jungle. He got the Pullman shield, so his illusions are pretty tanky. And looks like he's going straight for that Radiance. He's even skipping shoes. He's going to do this barefoot, I believe.
Well, he does have shoes, but
oh, no, he does have shoes.
They are standard Phillies. They aren't anything classic. He does not have his Nikes on to make him run faster, and he does not have his Adidas on to make him a little bit more clever.
Yeah, I was actually curious if he would go for Mana Boots, because you can obviously turn that into Octarine Core, but I mean, he's going straight for the Radiance, and why not? He's farming up a Storm. He's got the highest last hits, and he hasn't really been under pressure. He's using illusions to farm lane while he farms jungle, and okay, it gets cleared up pretty quickly by Depi though, so whoops comes out from him there, and rightfully so. Realizing that, okay, Depi's got level 3 in his as well in his Remnants and level 4 in Overload. His illusions are not going to survive that sort of damage.
Adestam is busy diving in deep. He does have his level 6 up. Whelp has come in as well. Are they actually going to try and turn around onto him? More supports are coming in. Adestam, he's trying to get in range. There's the ultimate coming through onto Whelp. Whelp, is he going to die? One more hit needed. Adestam getting now a killing spree, and they want to turn around for more. Chadawi's in a lot of trouble. Adestam, is he going to turn around for this? He does not have any healing. They don't have enough. Chadawi barely makes it out alive. And now, all 3 kills so far for this entire game have gone the way of none other than Adeslam.
Yeah, Adeslam is having a great time. I mean, his net worth, he's topping that chart. The Storm is also right up there with him.
Doom Bunny! Is he going to be able to get the kill? No! Just enough mana here for the Presti attack. Nearly managing to get that. Look at this deep ward actually coming up here from the side of XTC. I really like this.
Yes.
And now they want to go in for more. There's going to be another spin as well as a freeze up here onto the Lich. Lich is in a lot of trouble. Does not have a 6 up.
Oh.
And guess what, guys? That is 4-0 for Adestam.
Yeah, this is a completely different laning stage to what we saw in Game 1, and Ecstasy will be very happy with the outcome now. I thought the tri-lane was starting to have no more effect, but all of a sudden they just keep on finding kills onto Adestam, and he's farming up a Storm. He's topping the net with shots, and followed closely by his teammates Storm Spirit or Depi. So he'll be happy
sitting
with that.
1,000 ahead of his counterpart in the Razor, and the Razor dominated his lane as well quite significantly. So not too bad there coming up here for the side of XTC. Could this be the game that XTC can actually come back from, or do you think the presence of the Naga is just too strong?
Well, I mean, again, we're going to have to see how quickly this Naga does come online. It's not exactly smooth sailing for Castaway. He realizes lane's pretty hard. He uses the illusions to sort of farm the lane.
But look at his net worth. He's only sitting 100 behind Adestam.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's still pretty good, but if the timing of Radiance is going to be vital. And, of course, the jungle has sort of been nerfed, so...
Well, it was nerfed, but then it was buffed again with the 1 minute timing. So looking at it every 2 minutes versus every 1 minute, it still balances itself out. Oh, we missed the kill there. And that was onto Skynet. Now Santo, he does heal himself up. They're trying to turn around onto Santo. Santo's still alive. But they do manage to actually get the kill. Are they going to turn around and go into Whelp? Deppy is there, but he doesn't actually have enough mana. He zips it forward. He can't pull him back. And does he have actually anything to pull him back? No, they have to be very careful because he hits so hard.
Yeah.
And that's without any static link damage.
Yeah, no points up in Electric Vortex. It's not really a nice ability up against Razor, however, because of unstable current.
Yeah, but I mean, up against the likes of Sand King, if you do catch him out before he goes into his Sandstorm, up against the likes of a Legion Commander while the Legion Commander is dueling, I do think that a value point is worth it.
I can agree. I think, however, I think his thought process was, I need to clear out these illusions so that they don't farm lane, so that I can sort of hinder the farm of Castaway. But Castaway has been controlling it pretty well, so not really getting the.
Well, there you
full
go. It's level
justification.
11, Electric Vortex is up. It's only 1 second, but it is at least a bit more control. Top lane, though, we might see a bit of trouble here for Adestam. He wants to move in. He does have Omni Slash, but Sans is not really the right hero that you want to target for that.
Yeah, Adestam is. He must be careful. He's not exactly a very tanky hero. Yes, he's got 10 armor, but if they manage to catch something out onto him, they can very quickly make a couple of rotations. And if they kill him, it could potentially be quite a decent bounty going their way.
XTC's actually smoked up. Now they want to go in. There's the Vortex actually being used. Lich's ultimate is there, but Lich is going to drop the ultimate, just hitting Deppy. Luckily, Deppy actually went forward without the ulti on him. And I think that might just be it. Are we going to see any kind of further counter kills? The stun is there onto Santo. And Doom Bunny, is he going to die? Is Doom Bunny going to die? The Versus is there. Chadawi actually gets the kill, denying the deny.
Yeah, that was close. They left it for Chadawi, obviously, but I mean, if those Ancients got one more hit off, that could have been very close. But obviously calculated, I suppose they'll say.
Support for support, I think it's okay for the side, well, for both teams, so to speak.
Yeah, as well as a successful duel, though. That's something that we must also keep in mind.
That is very
every time,
true.
so.
That is very true.
Yeah, bonus damage on Sujawi is, it's small for now, but it keeps on growing. So we must keep an eye on that.
That 10 extra damage at 10 minutes in is quite a lot. It's roughly around 1,000 net worth of damage if you, for example, build up a Alacrity Blade or Blade of Alacrity.
Yeah.
That's 1,000 gold for 10 damage, isn't it?
Yeah, about, yeah. So it's still worth it. I mean, like, he gets a good rotation. Look, I like what he's doing here. He hasn't bought out his phase boots. He's thinking to himself, you know what, if I get enough gold for Blink Dagger, I'm going to purchase that. If someone tries to dive me now, I'll just quickly buy out my phase boots. Okay,
Castaway might be in a bit of trouble right now. Don't die. He has a 6. He goes in. Castaway is not going to be living much longer.
Yeah, this is a completely different team, and they do have...
is right.
Yeah. They have the favorable draft, I feel. I definitely feel confident that Ecstasy have a nicer draft. It's going to be how WRG are going to transition to the late game. And this is a good showing by Ecstasy, showing that they are willing to punish WRG.
Look at the gold up on Castaway. He was so close to Sacred Relic. But managing to actually get this kill, he did have Song of the Siren, but he was just controlled up long enough by the bait.
Duel mid lane.
Oh, duel. There is a duel coming through. The winner is there. Once again, that's going to be 20 damage up on the Legion Commander. They want to turn around Dota and die. He is going to, there you go, he sleeps himself. Now they're turning around. Wop's in a lot of trouble right now. Adestam came in. I think he also used his ultimate there as well. That's going to be a 2-for-1 trade, but it's 2 supports for the price of a core.
Yeah.
XTC getting the favorable trades in most of these engagements.
Yeah. Adestam still, they're going to be happy. I mean, both him and Deppy are pretty comfortable in the net worth charts. Yes, they're closely followed by Castaway, but if they can keep this aggression up, it's going to definitely be very big for them.
This is how you fight WRG. But look at the net worth, though. It is even. It's sitting on 500 in favor of XTC, but at least it is even.
Yeah.
Versus in the previous game at this point in the game, it was like 7,000 in favor of WRG.
Yeah, I mean, Santo has actually found himself quite a decent amount of farm. He's sitting with about 1,000 above that of the opponent's position.
That's Santo.
Yeah, so he's just done a great job, and that's pretty much what's keeping WRG in the net worth game right now.
Well, let's have a look here. This is going to be the first tower that XTC actually take. It's going to be the mid tower, so the control tower, so to speak. Top lane is sitting around a quarter HP, and bottom lane is still full. They don't really care about bot right now. It's the middle lane, and they've smoked up. They are hunting. I like this. This is what we want to see from XTC. It's this kind of aggression, this in-your-face style, and even though they might not get a kill, they actually do get a couple of wards off, but do they
Chadawi.
scout out Chadawi? Chadawi's in a lot of trouble. There's everything being thrown at him. And is CM going to throw the kitchen sink? Nope. It is going to be the dunk actually did not land there.
Yeah, Adesam managed to get that kill.
So the kitchen sink was thrown off to the death.
Yeah, it was the animation. Just as the animation was going to be, Adesam said, no, no, no. I want to have 5-0-1, thank you very much. And this has opened up a potential, the opportunity for them to find an objective as well. The top tier 1 tower is quite prone, but looks like Welpy is going to force him to trade. So in fact, they are going to rotate
the
in.
blink call in from Skynet, showing up his blink. That's exactly what you want to do. But Slings comes through with a massive ultimate going through onto Adesam as well as Axe. Axe is down, however, towards the back line. It is going to be a 1-for-1 trade-off. It is going to be a 2-for-0 or 2-for-1 trade-off. Deppy just dominating up here on the Storm Spirit, showing us, listen, you have Castaway, but I am Deppy. I have 15 charges up on my Bloodstone right now. What?
Yeah, that's a big point there. 15 charges up on his Bloodstone already. He got it very quickly, and he just had successful rotations.
It's 15 minutes into this game, and you have 15 charges. Come on.
Yeah, he's definitely in a comfortable position here, Deppy. So if there's a game, if there's an opportunity here for XTC to actually take a game off with WRG, this is it. WRG are under the cosh here, how they're going to turn this game around. But yes, they do have that Naga once he does get that Radiance up, which is getting there. He's slowly but surely getting in that direction. So
keep in mind, they've only killed the Naga once. They are leaving Castaway alone. And, I mean, I don't know how I feel about this, because if they focus on Castaway, then they might not get as much map control as they are right now. I think XSC is trying to just establish map control.
Duel onto the Axe. He's in trouble. He should go down. And another victory here for Chadawi.
That's now 3.
3 victories.
3 duel wins, 30 damage. And he's just about to hit that 10. After that, of course, on 11, he will level up his duel.
Yeah.
And he's actually doing well, getting that 30 damage up before the 20 minutes in. But middle lane, Santos in a lot of trouble. Deppy wants to go in. Will they actually be able to do enough damage? And Deppy's still charging. Are they going to be able to get it out? Deppy actually gets it. Don't die, nearly stealing it.
Yeah. No, that was calculated.
Calculated.
Absolutely calculated. But, yeah, good work again, Ecstasy.
Or miscalculated kill steal.
Okay. I can live with that one. They know which one's Castaway here, so they might want to go on him, but Castaway, he's going to have to reside in the jungle again. Still a little way until he gets to that Radiance, but it's just around the bend.
Look at the warding coming up here from XTC. Trying to control this entire mid to top lane. I really like this.
Yeah.
It shows the aggression. It shows what they want to do. And Skynet, of course, he has another blink. Well, he has a blink dagger up. They want to go. This is go time for them. All their ultimates are basically up. Well, not basically. All their ultimates are up. But they decide to TP back and play defensive. And this is what WRG is going to do. They're going to split push. They're going to draw XTC away from the aggression.
Yeah.
They're going to push out the lanes and force XTC to react.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things here is, even though a lot of kills are going the way of XTC, WRG are not letting this net worth slide by too much. It's only about 3k difference. Yes, it's a decent amount, but it's nothing significant if you look at really how far ahead it feels like XTC is and how far they are actually ahead.
Sand King has Blink. We have not seen a Blink Epi coming up yet.
Yeah, and we got the Radiance up on the Naga at the same time, so...
This is go time.
Yeah. Yeah, so actually hitting their spikes in a sense...
Once again at 18 minutes.
Yeah. I think Castaway just wants to farm though. He doesn't really want to partake in fights. Yes, he does have Song of the Siren, but maybe he wants to get one more level up just to make sure it has a shorter cooldown.
Let's have a look here. We do see a big zip in here by Deppy. Deppy has to be very careful though. The call is there from Skynet, but unfortunately he draws away the ultimate coming in from Slings. Are they going to be able to do anything? Dota Die comes in with a huge ultimate as well. It's still going on. The duel is there onto Storm, but Storm is still alive. Storm finally drops. That is very unfortunate. Very well played there by the Bane, actually getting the sleep off, but it might not be enough. And this is going to be 2 heroes down.
Storm's jumping back in.
Seeing Storm is back, boys. Here we go. Are we going to see anything further? Adesam trying to go in. They do manage to get the kill on Wolf. Adesam, that is his first death. And now they want to go in for more. Skynet goes in, gets a good call. The down misses on Chadawi, but it's still okay. Skynet, he is down. This is a disaster for the side of XTC.
What a turnaround. I mean, that was the Storm coming back in twice. And
Look at that drop.
it's tremendous. This is I mean, it's actually a net worth advantage now.
3,500 net worth difference from one fight.
Add another K onto that. They just managed to take a tower, so another 1,000 net worth in their pockets. It's just, this is bad.
What happened there though? Because Storm was good, but the fight just got split up a little bit too much.
Well, one of the things
Some of the Siren wasn't even used.
yeah, one of the things that I suppose,
Epicenter wasn't even used.
yeah, one of the things we forgot to really mention is how good Nets is up against the Storm, because you throw the net down, he's rooted, he can't jump away, and that's what pretty much secured the kill there. They didn't get the duel on him, but it also locked him down after that net, and it was the demise of Depi there.
Well, what do you think XTC, what's going through their head right now? What do they have to do? Because they just lost a massive advantage.
I think after a team fight like that, don't let it get to you, because they still have a very farmed Storm. Yes, he's down to 8. Oh, he's actually in trouble. Bot lane.
Storm is being fueled up.
no.
Epicenter, everything was thrown at him there.
Commentator's curse. As I praise him, he does take a tumble. But
2 for 2.
okay, now
You are sitting on 2 for 2 right now.
Yeah.
Commentator's curse.
yeah, I should just say, I'm going to say some good things for WRG now. Castaway is doing great, but he's actually going to find a kill. So
Let's focus on Castaway getting that kill, unfortunately. I was maybe thinking, hey, maybe there's some kind of turnaround.
yeah, so I suppose they even know when I'm using sarcasm now. So it's
You have to mean it. You have to say it with belief.
I have to put my heart and soul.
feeling and soul.
Yeah, but Ecstasy got a lot of work. Oh,
Oh, here's TP's coming in right now. Actually, TP being cancelled up onto the tier 2 tower. So they're TPing in towards the shrine. Are we going to see any kind of wraparound pincer movement coming up here right now? Shadawi has to be very careful. Skynet is actually going to go in. Skynet manages to get a 2-hero call-up. Here he goes. Depi coming in. Dunk number 1. Dunk number 2. And they might even want to go for more. Shadawi's in a lot of trouble. He will actually not drop just yet. But here towards the backline, Wolp is there. He has stolen 224 damage. 1 shot CM, 2 shot CM, 3 shot. You are dead. Now he wants to go for more. Are they actually going to be able to use this try to their advantage? Dora Dai wants to go in. Depi, will he be able to get a kill? And there's Castaway saying, oh guys, I forgot. I have a little spell called Song of the Siren.
he doesn't have TP boots here, so he must be a bit careful. He still needs to be on the run. And Juggernaut, he's pretty quick. Gonna see if he can close the gap, but he doesn't have Omni Slash. I don't imagine he's gonna get too much more from this, as they do back themselves on that.
Fight recap, 1,000 gold swinging towards XTC, but they are still like 3,000 behind.
I must say,
Oh, what a jump in coming in from Depi, but Depi, he is rooted. Depi is dead.
yeah, he gets a deny off at least, but I mean
Okay,
still
Depi is denied.
denied. He's down to 5 Bloodstone charges, which is they find another kill here on Dota and
Winner,
die.
winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah.
For those PlayerUnknown Battleground fans. But
It's a significant lead now going the way of WRG. Things are sliding out of control, and you don't really want this to happen, especially when you had a lead up against the Naga. The Naga Siren's now just going to farm at an extreme rate. So big problems here for the side of Ecstasy to sort of deal with. And I mean, we look over at the Juggernaut. He's got a Shadow Blade. I sort of question it. I mean, you're dealing with the net. If they net you, you sort of spin yourself on out, and then Shadow Blade, and then you've pretty much
I agree
down
with
on
the
everything.
Shadow Blade in regards with they were ahead. Having that Shadow Blade puts more pressure onto WRG. Now that you're behind, it's quite a difficult one.
Yeah, I don't know. I suppose there's obviously rhyme and reason to what he's done, but personally, I don't know. I don't know how it really works out for him. I'm not going for the Manta Star early on into the defusal, but we'll see. Smoke now from WRG. They're going to see if they can catch someone off guard.
They're trying to be sneaky
maybe
here, not
extending.
actually pushing it any further than they have to. Are
Nice
they going to get
scan.
scouted out here by the scan? Just towards the bottom side of it, so no scouts, no anything. And here goes Santo. Let's follow him. Getting the blink, Epi. Depi, you are dead again.
Man, and the poor CM is just going to stand there, throw out all the spells he can, and just die to Radiance. He just knew.
CM
alright,
was just dying
no
there,
hope.
but Skynet does manage to actually jump in. He gets Yules up. He does, of course, have a Blade Mail, but the Blade Mail is off now, and this is going to
wow.
be Axe being completely destroyed. I mean, all of a sudden, WRG is just like, surprise, you guys thought you had this game?
Yeah,
You made this, I made this.
yeah. And
This is your game, this is our game.
I mean, they're just going to take a tier 2 tower here. They're just dominating. 4 kills down. This is, man, it looks so promising for Ecstasy. I can't
went wrong?
emphasize just
One
a
team fight.
bad team fight. Yeah, one bad team fight, and all of a sudden the network
And
swang.
a Storm dying twice.
Yeah, in that team fight.
In
In
that
that
same
same
team
team
fight.
fight, yes. But another thing that we
Jinx.
can say,
Jinx,
personal
get it,
jinx.
No, jinx, as in,
Yeah, but one of the...
wow! Perfect timing, could not ask for anything
Thank you,
better.
Sanso. But one of the things I can say for WRG is the fact that they managed to keep that gap in the net worth down to a bare minimum. And so as soon as the fight was lost, they were all of a sudden in the lead. So,
I mean, if you are only 2,000 net worth behind at 20 minutes in, the game is actually even.
yeah.
Because that's a Hand of Midas, it's a Blink Dagger, it's just something small out of your 5 players.
Yeah.
And then if you take a massive team fight, killing Depi that was doing so well twice in a row, you just take control.
Yeah. It's just one of those painful things. And I feel like Depi going for the Orchid instead of finishing up the Lincoln Sphere kind
Well,
of...
there's the Axe going in for a call right now. They're trying to go into the Razor. The Bane ultimate is also used, but they literally did absolutely nothing. Dota Die now dies. Well, Dota Die might die as well. And yeah, that was actually Cosmic coming in there with a Song of the Siren as well as a dual victory.
Oh, boy.
I honestly don't know what XT... Oh, wait. They managed to get a kill onto support. It's something.
It's something. Yeah,
something.
it sounds like a nice meme to put in here. But
I've been memeing too much already. I don't know what XTC can do right now.
yeah, they've got their work set out for them.
If Naga split pushes alone, you could possibly kill her. But with Naga in the team and what's the ultimate cooldown on? So it's still pretty large.
Yeah.
They could possibly try and take a fight now without some of the big ultis.
Yeah, but I mean, the Naga, he is showing face in lane now, but if he's not with his team, he's sending illusions and he's in a pretty safe sort of environment. They need to try and smoke and catch him, but even that is just a big commitment onto sort of killing the Naga Siren when there's other big pressing issues, such as the Legion starting to get a little bit out of control. He's got 86 stolen or 1 damage. And now Roche, this is tough. This is really just slipped completely out of the grasp of Ecstasy. It looked like they had this, and or at least in the laning stages, it looked really good for them. But WRG, they are relentless.
This Razor pick, we were all thinking the Razor pick for XTC.
Yeah.
And then WRG comes up with this Razor pick. What does XTC have to deal with this Razor?
Nothing. I suppose you can say Bane, because he's
Bane just
just
literally blew his load onto Wealth,
yeah. So
and they couldn't do anything.
yeah. So it's true. But the main goal for the Bane is to sort of control Wulp in the team fights. Like put him to sleep. Say okay.
Stop Bane from
oh,
doing anything.
yeah.
To stop Razor from doing
Yeah, to sort of deal more damage in these team fights. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Skynet, he's standing on the outside here. They know Roche is happening. They're going to look, but we can really see what
Here's
a
the
good
axe,
setup.
there's the call. Oh, he gets used up instantly. Are you going to see any kind of engagement here? Skynet wants to go in. Wap's in a lot of trouble, but towards the backline, the duel is there. It's going to be 2 hits. The winner's there as well. And now Wap, he's going in onto Adestam. Adestam goes in with a massive Omni Slash. It just it manages to get 1 kill. Is he actually going to be able to get anything else? Unfortunately not. He is left alone to his devices, and he dies. Depi also has to get out. Santo, what a player, blinking in, getting a double strike there as well. Chadawi's extremely low, but I can't believe it. The omelets keeping them alive. Depi, he is going to die.
Oh, Santo, man, what a player. They did manage to steal the Aegis. This is something big.
Well, I did not pick that up. Now he wants to blink in. Is he actually going to be able to get Chadawi? No, he doesn't.
Oh. Good aggression shown by him there, but not going to get much more. And another lost fight. Yes, they got the Aegis, so maybe they bought some time for the high
He did
ground.
not snatch. The Radiant got the kill on Roche as well.
Okay, so, I mean, that's even better, because that's some sort of net worth going in their favor.
It's something.
Yeah, it's something. And it's going to buy a little bit of time. Now, WRG might not try and go on the high ground. They know that there's sort of a decent defense in the sense that Bane can sort of control up your Razor.
But they know they've also taken the Aegis off as well.
Yeah, that is true. But I think they're just going to use this time to say, okay, Castaway, go get your Octarine core, then we can
play
have,
the most fun kind of Dota that there is on Go Farm.
yeah, press buttons and hear that gold sound. So,
Hey, this is an alchemist, okay? Well,
oh, bot lane, Santo.
have a look here. Will Santo or Dota be able to do anything from this? He does sleep himself up, and there you go. The duel is there, unfortunately, but do they have enough? Axe is trying to go on, but the ultimate coming in from Slinks. Deppy managing to get a big jump in to get a kill onto Slinks. And it's a 1-for-1, support for support. But all of a sudden, it's 10,000 net with disadvantage to the side of, well, for WRG. They're
Yeah.
all dead. They're all dead, being shouted. 10,000 at 30 minutes. How important and how impactful is that? Because that's 2 big items, right?
Yeah, well, we can also say, look, they're playing against a Naga who's just going to consume a lot of farms. So you're always going to sort of be in a deficit. But it is pretty significant. The fact
your
that the
Razor-
Razor is the same net worth as the Naga. So
What?
he's just been involved in fights. It's one of the
14,
things.
3, and 9.
Yeah. So he's been involved in over 20 kills.
That's 23 of
Yeah.
the 28 kills he's been involved in.
Yeah, so that's quite significant. He's just been creating space really, and with that he's finding farm. Oh, Omni Slash. Nice kill there for Adesam, getting the Legion Commander.
Of course, he does, of course, have a Silver's Edge right now. Juggernaut.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's still, he's going to find a pick like this, but doesn't really...
What
I
does
don't know
that
how much
break,
impact he's
though?
going to have, because one of the problems is the static link that comes out from the Razor. If he gets to that on Adesam's impact in team fights is very, very limited.
So, a couple of questions. Does Silver's Edge remove the extra damage from Static Link?
I don't believe so. I think it just removes the unstable concoction. Unstable current, sorry.
Because unstable I've already said and stated there is no alchemist this
I
game.
know. Whoops. Close
Okay.
enough.
Does it remove anything else, basically, coming up here?
Caustic Finale. Oh, bot lane, they find a kill onto Dota and Die. Caustic Finale. Oh, yes, quite big. The Legion Commander's moment of courage. And
That
that's about it.
is quite important. Does
Yeah.
it remove the dual victory, though?
No, that would...
Sorry, I had to throw that in. That is a potato question, but still a funny one.
yeah.
A broken one, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
And that would be a disaster coming through. We do have a sleep coming in right now. The lulls are there. The disaster's there. Are they going to be able to do anything? Sancho missing a stun. Well, he actually did not get anything off, but Axe is still going to die there. The winner is up for the Legion Commander. 128 damage stolen up for him.
Sanso making an uncharacteristic
But
error.
was that a stun during the sleep, or was that a miss stun?
No, he stunned literally just in between the two of them. He didn't touch either of them. It was really close. Oh,
They're trying to go for a kill onto the Razor. The Razor's just, there you go. Razor's being controlled up right now. Are they going to actually be able to do anything? The CM is busy dancing, doing a lot of damage, but Deppy is down. Deppy is down. Dota and Die might just die himself right now, but there comes the ultimate coming up here from the Juggernaut. It actually jumps off. It jumps around to the Naga. Adesam, unfortunately, does not manage to actually get the kill. Is he going to try and turn around onto Whelp? Is he going to actually do anything? He tries to do what he can. Chidao is actually on a killing spree. It's Adesam versus the world. Adesam, of course, does have some kind of invis. He has some kind of something, but they can see him because of the static link. He is still alive, however.
yeah, he should be able to get out of this one, but yeah.
Oh! Chadawi! The Jukes! The Adestam! He's still alive, though. Can they do anything? Chadawi does have blink up in 2 seconds. Is he going to be able to do anything? The Jukes there. Adestam still wants to move forward. He, of course, does have his Silver's Edge. But this is literally space created.
Cue the music. Yeah, this is... He's got to get out of here.
He's okay.
Yeah, he's fine. Still decent damage, 224 damage, but not enough to right-click him down.
But
Still pretty
this
sneaky.
is space created because from here,
Yeah.
all the way up, all the way up, all the way up, coming to here, literally from this side of the jungle to behind the tier 2,
Yeah.
which means the side of WG cannot push.
Yeah. And I think it's the same sort of point that we had when the Aegis was claimed by the Storm, that WRG not really going to look to take high ground until they have some sort of substance. There they
look to
had a
fight
lot of
another
kills. Yeah. There they had a lot of kills, but it wasn't enough to, or they just or wasted too much time chasing after Adestam, and they didn't manage to take an objective. But mid lane, there is a a bit of trouble here for... Oh, they get the dunk down. Santo is down, so that's a pretty decent kill for them. And that should be all she wrote. WRG, no one else has overextended, so no more punishment coming out that way.
I want to ask you yet again, how do you kill the Razor? Sanjay Nyashap. Or as our lovely co-coach, Mr. Jabba says, he says...
Sanjay... Yasha?
No, it is Sanjay Nyasha, but he says... He says it differently.
I don't know. He says it a cool way.
Yeah. Sanjay Nyashap. I think he says Sanya and Yanjay or something like that.
Yeah.
But he has SNY up, Dragon Lance up, BKB up, Assault Curse up. How do you kill this man?
So...
You don't have right clickers except for the Juggernaut, and he isn't dealing that much at this point.
I think you don't prioritize killing him. I think you prioritize controlling him. And the fact that he has BKB is a bit of a problem. But the Bane, he got the Fiend's Grip earlier, but...
Yanjay and Sasha.
Oh, yes.
Yanjay and Sasha.
But the Lich is actually able to just cancel that instantly. He threw out his ulti, and that gives a mini stun, and obviously cancels the Bane's channeling spell.
Yep.
So it's a bit of a problem there. They're sort of in a catch-22 here about how you're going to deal with this Razor. And I think there is no real answer.
Sort of in the same position as a farm Timbersaw, don't you think?
Yeah, just unkillable in a sense. Like, as long as he seems with him, he's pretty unkillable. But here Costaway is just being a nuisance. He's just cutting waves with these illusions. This is very, very difficult to deal with.
Well, Chadawi goes in, gets the duel onto Juggernaut. Look how quickly Juggernaut just melts up. And guess what? That's another duel victory. And I wouldn't be surprised if on his level 25 talent, if this game even gets that far, he's going to go with plus 40 duel damage bonus.
If this game gets that far, I'll be quite surprised, because they're definitely in a good position to push onto the high ground. Oh, mid lane.
Let's have a look all the way up to top. Mid lane, Wild once again. He was the one that was engaged upon. However, the courier is dead. That's 2 years down. A buyback up on the Juggernaut. The stun coming through here from Santo onto Deppy. Deppy does, of course, have buyback if he needs it. And the buyback was already used up here by the Juggernaut. So I think the side... Oh, wait, no. They still want to go in for more. That is onto Scarnet as well.
Really close to bringing down Chadawi there, though. But
extremely much so.
Yeah.
So are they going to force out the buybacks? I think they're just going to push up in the lanes, and that's going to be the first buyback. Is it's going to be a buyback onto the Storm Spirit. He has 3 Bloodstone charges.
Yeah, that's the worst case scenario, right? It's something that helps him commit suicide. In the previous fight, he did commit suicide.
Let's have a look. They do jump in onto Chadawi. The ultimate's there. Deppy is coming in as well, but they still want to go in onto Naga Siren. Naga Siren is TPing out. There's unfortunately no bash, no anything followed up. But Deppy, is he going to be able to get anything further from this? So 2 buybacks, 3 buybacks. 3 buybacks used here from XTC. They did, however, hold their racks and more importantly, their tier 3 tower.
Yeah, oh boy, I suppose is really the statement we can have. Roshan is up. This should be the next goal for WRG, and then they're going to look to close this game out. More likely than not. Oh, GG.
Oh. I am not quite sure why.
Maybe tilted?
Now, this is very, very anticlimactic.
Yeah, so, I mean, I suppose I get it. I think they just realize, oh, they're going to take Roshan in now. It's like exactly what I said. Roshan was right up there for them to just sort of snag up, and they could have easily turned that into some sort of victory. And it's a unfortunate event that they called it so early. I would have liked to see how it plays out, because there's a lot of action in these sort of team fights. But yeah, that's it's really interesting. I don't know. What more can you add on to that?
So, I mean, I'm on Wilson Triple XL's account right now, and you can see all of these teams taking part in the battle pass. I'm just like checking through all of them. But looking at this, XTC versus WRG, the beginning looked so good though for XTC. Deppy dominated early game. He dominated everyone and he completely crushed them.
Yeah. But I think the biggest problem was his item progression. Instead of going for the Lincolns early on, he went for the Orchid, which is great. I mean, he was being very aggressive and so on, but not having the Lincoln Sphere to cancel out the net, which was rooting him down and just absolutely making his life a misery. It was a really big problem for them. And I don't know. I suppose it's debatable because Lincoln Sphere is quite expensive. He might not have had it in time. But,
okay, so looking at the looking at the two cores here, Adestam and Wop.
Yeah.
Adestam also, he was sitting, what, 5-0 at a stage. He ended the game with 9-3, so still not actually dying that much. Adestam proving his worth of being probably still one of the best carries in the country.
Yeah.
But Wop, they did not have anything to deal with the amount of HP and the amount of armor that Wop had. The Assault Cuirass up, the SNY up, Dragon Lance up, BKB up, and then the Eagle Song.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much more that can be said. I think the Whelp played out of his mind. He was very difficult to kill. So I was going to say unkillable, but he did die 3 times. But that was, I think, largely in the early stages of the game. I don't think he died any
that was
time after
very
that.
early on.
Yeah, and at the same time, Adestam, he found plenty kills. I think he found like 4 or 5 kills early on. He was 5-0 and 1, if I remember correctly. And it's a tough pill to swallow. For
Wop's the only person that managed to kill every single person in the opposing team.
yeah.
So, looking quickly at the graph, once again, look at that. At the 20-minute mark, XTC was still in lead. It seems like this is WRG's timing, looking towards that 18 to 22 minutes. During those 4 minutes, that is when WRG actually wants to take control of the entire game.
Yeah.
They did that during the previous one with XTC actually leading here during that time period. But at that 22-minute mark, WRG just stepped forward. And once again, the exact same thing as what happened in game 1 is that was when Castaway started getting involved. So, panel, we're going to be heading back to you, Halbert. I mean, we were so looking forward to XTC here. They were playing so well. What happened?
Well, you see, what happened was there was one pick to stand amongst them all. A certain hero, grand and glorious in every way. And, of course, enlightening our panelists, rather.
I mean, it
about-
wasn't even the Naga
Yeah,
show.
I was
That was the Razor show.
I
Razor
think-
was owning.
I don't even know what you guys are talking
I mean,
about. Basically, what I
at-
saw was
Razor-
that Naga
Razor
Siren
was
just
everywhere.
Razor
wrecking
actually destroyed
everything. I don't know what game you guys were watching. but
Naga was just like a
definitely-
thorn. That's what he was. But Razor was like the big ass tree that was just wrecking everyone.
I'm pretty sure it was basically just Naga.
Okay.
But
Or, like, the only thing that I'll applaud Naga for here is we finally saw XTC play an up-tempo game. They didn't try, like, wait for Depi to try and get farm and Addison to try and get farm. They were like, guys, this game has a time limit. Once it gets past, like 35 minutes, Naga's then going to be crazy farmed. We cannot win at that point. So they had to get aggressive. They got into White Rabbit's face, and like White Rabbit, you could see like there was a couple of moments there where they didn't really know how to play against that kind of thing. So fantastic play by XTC, and then the chain feed starts in the mid lane, and it's
That
like
chain feed.
it was bad.
Depi died twice. Like they dived the tier 2, Depi dies. Adesam randomly runs and he's like, guys, we can fight this. Joking, he dies, Depi dies again, and then it's just like suddenly the lead they had, it's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's like you were mentioning, or they were mentioning on the caster saying between 18 and 22 minutes, that's when WRG really got their start going. But if I remember correctly, that's exactly when this situation happened where like Storm jumps in with Axe, dies, comes back, dies almost instantly afterwards. Adestam comes in, dies, and then both supports came in, they both died. And then immediately afterwards, in the mid lane, Depi comes back, dies again. He had 16 Bloodstone charges, and next thing we had 5.
And a
you're
lot,
just
a lot
like,
of these
wow.
fights, the common factor was Axe didn't hit good calls, right?
Yeah.
Like he didn't hit key targets on his calls. There was some fights where he blinked in, didn't get a call off, and then one of his supports got dueled or his carry got dueled, and then he tried to call the LC that was dueling, which does
hero.
nothing, by the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I don't know, like the Axe just didn't seem like it seemed like it was hard for him. Naga's obviously not going to give him a call because she's like doing shenanigans, but he needed to hit some key heroes, needed to get maybe Sanking, needed to hit Razor, just anyone really, and then try and blow them up.
I actually think that the Skynet Axe is one of the things that brought them down this game. That engagement middle that actually went catastrophically for them happened entirely because he jumped in intending to get Razor. As soon as he didn't get the call, like immediately afterwards, Razor comes back. He's like, oh, well, I'm a free hero now. Links one person, then LC comes in, duels somebody else, and then the entire team fight is suddenly like destroyed. Depi then jumped in trying to help somebody, but then when he got there, he realized, oh wait, there's this Razor that's stolen 100 damage, turns on him, kills him instantly, and then at that point the chain feed begins. And I think we saw that multiple times happen where you could see XCC almost saying, all right, guys, we're gonna go take this fight. They jump in, and then the call would hit like weird heroes. Like there was this one engagement bottom where he got the call on the Razor and the Naga, but then the LC was free, and that's probably the worst hero to leave out of the call if she's nearby, because then she just gives you a heal, like, and it comes in like overwhelming odds, duel him, suddenly can't do anything. Even though the Razor fell ultra low, couldn't actually get the Culling Blade off because he didn't decide to do. And then the game just from there becomes so much more difficult. And the opportunity was there to get all 3 heroes in the call.
Yeah.
But it just didn't really transpire, come out like that well for Skynet. So I don't know. It feels like he didn't really feel comfortable this series like up against WRG.
Well, I mean, I think that's a pretty fair comment, to be perfectly honest. But also, I guess what this means for the side of WG is they're going to make their way through to the grand finals. I think we also have anticipated. And of course, that sets us up for an XTC versus Energy low bracket finals. It's going to be quite an interesting affair again. I think we're seeing some, almost like a pattern, Esedo. These 3 seem to be the guys that could get to the top quite consistently. But we did have a bit of an interesting tournament as well because we had some new faces. I think Sinister 5, we haven't seen too much of them. They actually, I think, impressed based on who they are. I mean, we don't know too much about this side. They actually managed to do pretty well, take a game off Bravado themselves, which was pretty impressive. And then I also almost want to tip my hat to XD, doing a little bit better than I think we anticipated they would.
Yeah. No, they did pretty well. They beat, I think they beat Energy 2-0?
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously Energy on a bad day, but Energy on a bad day is not going to matter in 2 years when you put up the stats. So you beat Energy when you probably shouldn't. You can take that and you can work off of it. And they at least have things to work off of when they, like at the end of the tournament tomorrow morning, when you go and review, you can go and look, right, this is what we did badly, this is what we did correctly. So they have things to work off of.
One thing I want to say about XTC, I think the thing that stood out for me and Snare actually just synergy problems. Actually, like, let's not say individual players. Like, just didn't seem like a team at times. They were just like things like Axe would call someone and then Bane would ulti, like at the exact same time. And then Adestam would run in and the other team's going back and then they'll run back in. It's just like they aren't working together. It didn't look like.
Yeah, it looks like two players are calling shots there and it's like somebody's not listening there.
Well, I think that about wraps it up for today, lads. Thank you very much, as usual, for joining us. And thank you to all of you viewers for joining us. It's been a great day of Dota, but don't worry, because there's even a better one coming tomorrow. I believe we kick off with our first game at 12 tomorrow. Of course, that's going to be the low bracket finals. Then finally, we'll wrap things up with WG versus the winner of Energy and XTC for our grand finals. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks once more. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't miss it. It's going to be fantastic.